bite. That's finger licking good.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Your home for Villanova basketball is WDAS and WD273D, Fox Sports Radio, Philadelphia.
Anderson! Down goes Anderson! Anderson squared off. Posey decked him.
Still hits.
You're going to be playing that all week, aren't you?
Still hits.
Literally.
78 or 72 hours later.
Down goes Anderson! Down goes Anderson!
It's kind of weird going a day without a brawl happening.
Actually,
you had such a weekend full of it.
I did see.
Oh, no. What happened?
Some festival. Some dude was swinging a chair. Some security guard was swinging
another chair?
A chair.
What is this? Attitude Era WWF? What is this?
Absolutely has some.
Was he a good chair swing?
Look, kids, you're going to see parents start calling out the WWE, just like video games. You know, kid shoots up a school. It's all the video games' fault. And people are swinging chairs around. Where else are you getting that besides wrestling? Who else is swinging a chair in society that people want to, replicate that in real life other than WWE?
It's got to be WWE. I'm sure you could see it in movies, people swinging chairs or like TV shows, but not in the way I saw that Montgomery, Alabama chair.
Which, by the way, we do have an update on that.
Yeah, the guy, how he swung that chair, that is classic WWF swinging at the head. Classic.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
My favorite thing about that, like when wrestlers would talk about that, they'd be like, yeah, I got to find the soft spot. There's a soft spot on the chair, where it can dent in easier. I'm like, how can you find that? There is no soft spot. What are you delusional people talking about?
I can tell you that when you do a pedigree, the key to that is to stick your head a little closer to the what, the junk of who's doing it. That's what I was told. I don't know where that came up in the last couple of days that I learned that, but I saw that. Anyways, hello everybody. Come on, dude, you can laugh. He's one of ours, and he had a great birthday yesterday.
I didn't even pay attention.
Our guy Mike Powers, God bless him.
Oh yeah, oh,
I think he's driving down to Florida, if I'm not mistaken. 2 shiners and all. You guys are gonna.
There will be some point where I can laugh at it. I don't know if it's now because I was concerned for my boy Mike.
I think he laughed. Yeah, he laughed the next day when I talked to him.
That's good.
Yeah, he was
great.
He chuckled with me.
That's good.
But by no
but
means.
I was concerned.
I think we all were. Good grief.
They say the warnings before every show. Don't do this at home, kids.
Yeah, straight up like Jackass. They say it for a reason.
Down goes Anderson! Down goes Anderson!
All right, so yesterday was an easy day when it came to the world of sports. You know why? Because everything got canceled.
Yes.
Phillies ended up getting postponed to
a nice
today.
Easy day. I just wanted to enjoy the rain, Sean. Enjoy the rain and enjoy the thunderstorms. Did you get thunderstorms? They were loud.
Yeah, we had the tornado watch. Everybody was texting me about it. I'm like, what's going on? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, it was an easy day. And then now we got 2. We'll play 2, Ernie Banks style.
We got more than that.
What's that?
We got double headers. We have Leagues Cup still. We got media, Little League in action at 7:00 tonight. It's all coming in one day.
What's the line on the media game?
I can't. Come on.
What you can wager on it.
Can you? No way.
I don't think DraftKings has Little League World Series, but
No
I've
way.
definitely bet on the Little League World Series before. 100%.
Yeah, but
That's nothing. I think you should wager on the Little League World Series.
excuse me.
Yeah, I mean it's on.
I can't.
It's on
I'm sorry.
television.
I can't do that. Yeah, no legal sports book is going to have Little League World Series.
I
betting.
believe that. Yeah, I believe it was definitely an offshore type deal or local bookie that I was able to
Yeah, I just
place a wager on
I can't do that.
Chicago. It was the year Chicago won it, and I saw it in the first game. I go, look at these guys. These boys were ready for battle, and they did win it. They won it all this year. So I ended up, or that year, ended up hitting on that. Have watched a little bit of it. Love it. We were yelling about it yesterday, and then we had it on in the studio this afternoon, and a kid hits a moonshot center field, and all he does is what you're supposed to do.
Oh, my God.
No bat flips, no Bryce Harper, no guns blazing, no TikTok dances around at second, no home run shuffle around third.
Just hear yourself right now.
It was just
Hear
nice,
yourself.
good ball player who was raised, who played for a great coach, raised in a good household.
Oh my God! Listen to yourself right now. Listen to yourself.
Wild child, just doing anything and everything yesterday. Number 99. What do you expect? All right, let's just fire up DraftKings Sportsbook. We do have a lot to get to, including two great guests coming our way to help us make better bettors. And Bill actually is going to discuss some of the things that were on my mind from the Philadelphia Eagles perspective. And one of those topics came up yesterday about the linebacker room. We'll talk more about that coming up. But right now, Phillies, let's play 2 down at Citizens Bank Park. Same thing from last night. No, actually, Wheeler wasn't. It was supposed to be Ranger. So flip there. Wheeler's getting the first game here at minus 290. Trevor Williams on the mound for the Nationals plus 235. Doesn't do anything for me. Doesn't make me look at it any other way. Want nothing to do with minus 290. Zero. You couldn't pay me to put my hard-earned money on this game. Sorry, because when the Phils win 5, they lose 4. We know how this works all season long. I believe in Zach Wheeler, but minus 290, that's top dog right there. There's not too many higher priced starting pitchers this season. I would love to see a chart of what the highest numbers were. Again, when you play terrible teams, numbers continue to will get inflated. But minus 290 for Zach Wheeler, I would imagine that's probably the highest priced he's ever had this year. Have you seen Zach Wheeler higher than minus 290?
Zach Wheeler, I'm sure there has been certain matchups that he has been. I don't know this season though, because he hasn't been
talking about this year.
Yeah, I don't know if this season. That's a good point. I know he definitely has, because that's the way he was priced, and he's priced like a Cy Young worthy pitcher. I don't know if it's happened this season though, because he got off to a bad start. So I don't think so. But yeah, this is the kind of game that you would be close to, because it's the Nationals and they stink. And Wheeler's probably pitching his best baseball right now.
I know I could find this somewhere on cover.
Yeah, there's got to be
covers
something.
will have it. They got all the props up.
I would say no. I don't. This is probably his highest money line he has gotten this year.
All right. So does anything change for you off of last night? Again, yesterday I didn't really have too much on the game. I think Bryce Harper's a guy that you could look at for total bases. I fully do expect this team to win. We talked about when they had the 10 games in front of them, 7-3 at the very least. Well, they lost 1 to the Royals. So I'm allowing it. We're all allowing it. 1 loss here against the Nationals. Doubleheader. Can they sweep tonight? I think they can. Again, it's just, are you willing to lay that number? And even from the run line perspective, it's -1.5 at -125.
Yeah, the first game to me is unbettable. I don't want to go anywhere near, because I haven't checked the run line number yet, but I imagine you gotta lay the juice on that too at probably -130, I would say. So no numbers I would like there. I don't trust the Phillies lineup, even though they have been better and they had a really good series against Kansas City. So Trevor Williams, he's better than some of the guys that Kansas City are throwing out there. Still not great. 5-6, 4.72 ERA. So the total might be in play here if you think Washington can kind of sneak in a couple of runs against Wheeler, or at least late in this game, Washington can sneak in a few runs. But the second game, gosh, that feels like, why not Washington in that game? Because Ranger Suarez has been good. I don't want to say anything bad about a guy who has a 4.01 ERA and that continues to go down. But Suarez has had some trouble this season, kind of keeping runs off the board. He is been giving up almost consistently 3-4 runs a game. Finally, his last game, 6 1/3, 1 earned, but that was with 10 hits. So Suarez, with his whip so high, with how good Josiah Gray has been, I think this is a pretty close pitching matchup, to be honest. And with Josiah Gray's record on the road being 2.52, I got to be honest, I'm kind of feeling that Washington money line in the second game. First game, though, it's unbettable just because of how high the price is.
Too pricey.
Yeah.
All right. Also from the world of Major League Baseball, last night, not too much as far as news is concerned from the Braves' perspective. Again, they lost 2 straight now, I believe it is. They did lose to the Pirates 7-6. Marlins ended up losing to the Reds, and that's a really interesting battle because that's 2 teams that didn't do anything. Matter of fact, the Marlins traded it. No, they traded for Robertson, so they did make some moves to try.
Yeah, and they got Berger as well.
Correct.
The third baseman.
But the Reds didn't do anything for the rotation. Now Hunter Green's coming back.
That puzzled me, but I kind of understand it because this isn't the year you go all in with the Reds.
But at the point in time of the trade deadline, you were in.
You're definitely right.
You were in.
But how much do you want to give up for a season that I'm not sure they're completely convinced they're ready for all of that?
You know, I think you have to look around the locker room, the clubhouse, and you say to yourself about the Reds' perspective, they're extremely young, right? I look at what the Cubs have, and you got some veterans on that squad.
Oh, absolutely.
So it was just a different deal. So for the Cubs, yes, hit the ground, keep it, committed and see what you can get out of this second half of the season. Reds, I think they should have got a pitcher, but as I said, they got 2 pitchers coming back off of the injury reserve.
The way pitchers are flying off the shelves, you could have gotten a rental for pretty cheap.
Probably should have done. Yeah, absolutely should have done something. Because and we talked about this to steal the line from Jim Bowden. He said, this team, if you don't do anything, the next time as a general manager, you will have the opportunity to make a trade will be after the World Series. So if your team, you feel like you're happy with the way your team looks and you think you can compete and you're giving your franchise the best opportunity to win a championship or at least make a run at it, then yeah, you could sit on your hands. But there's no way the Reds didn't see the same type of flaws that we see.
Oh, they know it.
Yeah,
they know it.
And the Marlins, the same thing. I just, both teams extremely young, and maybe they said, hey.
Marlins were in a bit of a different spot, I would say, because they started playing very poorly by the time the All-Star break came and then even after.
Yeah.
So they were in a bit of a different spot. The Reds, though, I mean, it's on and off. And the reason why, some of these losing streaks keep happening for them is pitching primarily.
Yep. Well, both are still in the running. We went over the wild card conversation yesterday. I thought that was a great conversation with Luke Arcani, Everything Podcast at Fox PHL Gambler. The Giants, the Phillies. The Phillies were minus 700 to the yes. So we went all over the teams and their odds as far as DraftKings Sportsbook is concerned to the yes and no market as far as the playoffs. Also from last night's action, I guess the big one would be the Yankees and the White Sox, where Booney got tossed again.
Boone.
He gets his money's worth, man. When that dude walks out, the gum throws the gum and it like this in the umpire's face. I love it.
So did you end up seeing the umpire scorecard for there's a Twitter account?
Yes, I know. I follow it and
it's great. And Boone had a bit of an argument. He had a good argument to make.
Oh, absolutely. Well, here's what we know. We know that everybody's got a video room or iPads all the way throughout the dugout. So you could see, snap of the fingers, if I'm Boone and I know that I'm getting frustrated by this strike zone and I just yell at my bench coach, was it a strike? And he could pull it, boom. Yeah, that was a strike. Like you can get input, data, snap of the fingers. So Boone hit a boiling point. His team's losing. His team's not doing all that well. Pressure in New York. He knows his job's on the line. I think if they miss the playoffs, he's 100% fired. 100%.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that.
I'm just saying. I think you're right.
Yeah. Anybody else?
I'm the only one here.
All right. No, I'm talking about from the manager's perspective.
But Laz Diaz last night, his called strike accuracy, so the amount of called strikes he got right.
Yeah.
The average is 88%.
Yes.
He had 66%.
That's not good.
He added a run, 1.59 runs for Chicago.
I've been on record, and we talked about it last week as well. Get the robot strike zone in there. Got to do it. And on top of it, you saw in last night's game with the Red Sox and Royals.
That is a fix, but also
the check swing.
There are umpires much better than this. Why do you have to have a guy like? Can't you see? Hey, the performance is bad. Send him down to the minors.
Because you know what? If it's not 99.5%, it's not good enough.
See, I don't know.
Well,
I'm okay with that little bit of wiggle room. But when you're getting that many pitches wrong,
no, you're not. Because until that happens in an NL championship game where the Phillies lose, then you're losing your mind.
But that would be like me getting all upset in the NFL in a playoff game over, a spot that was maybe a centimeter wrong. Like something that was just so close, but really you had so many other chances. Why is that inch or why is that one pitch that is slightly, ever so slightly off the base? And I got to go, oh, see, that's why they lost.
I don't know if this game is live. It says live on FS2. We're talking Barcelona and Tottenham, right? And then outside on the banners, they got Prime. Dude, Jake Paul, the Paul brothers are on top of the world, man.
They're on top of their own world. Fantasyland.
Yeah. Well, guess what?
Fantasyland.
There's a lot of money in that Fantasyland.
That's great.
They are.
They can get a bunch of 13 to 17-year-olds
and what
buying these stupid pay-per-views for a fight that was not even a fight.
Says who?
Did you watch it?
No.
Nate Diaz didn't participate.
We know how that fight's going to go up.
He was a punching bag for 10 rounds. They gave Paul the win, and Diaz said, cool, I'm going home and taking my paycheck with
absolutely. Me. And this is how it's been throughout the course of that run. Now, wouldn't you say that's kind of the same as far as with Floyd Mayweather in the last 10 tomato cans that he beat up?
You know what happened? Boxing suffered because of it.
All right, well, no one's making you buy the fight. Don't make me
not
stick
buying
up
the fight.
for Jake Paul
I'm not buying the fights.
But bottom line is you got to be honest with yourself. These dudes, one guy went from SummerSlam, hopped the flight, and landed where his brother was fighting, was the talk of the sports world that night, regardless if we bought the fight or not.
Yeah, I already forgot how that match
went.
You
got this Prime drink where everybody that has a kid, a 12-year-old boy, apparently they got their mom and dad hunting for these things at every Acme Giant, Insulacos, and Piggly Wiggly around.
See, now this is the downfall of America, not kids trotting around the bases like you're saying.
Here we go.
It's the toxicity of YouTube and losers like the Paul brothers.
Well,
that's where society is collapsing.
One is pretty damn good.
Not because of kids trotting around the bases and doing a shuffle.
I think it all connects.
I don't think it connects at all.
I think it all connects.
That does not connect. The Paul brothers don't play baseball.
But if they did, they'd be doing a home run shuffle. And then some.
Yeah, but that's a real sport, though. So they would actually have to, be good at it.
Anyways. Yeah, I'm not a Paul fan, but they're doing a lot of big things. And this
good for them.
Better thing that they got going on, too, where it's going to be
big doesn't always mean good. It doesn't.
It means rich.
That's great. If that's how you want to
amen to that.
Judge success.
That's
fine.
How else am I supposed to judge success?
I think we can judge it through a more complex lens than that. Knowing when something's actually good and actually something worth buying into and giving your time to.
Is there anything Jake Paul can do as far as fighting somebody in the ring?
An actual boxer, a boxing match, an actual boxing match.
He lost to an actual boxer.
Yes,
that's right. Yeah,
he did.
Yeah. I give him respect. He says he wants to get in the MMA world.
Fighting. He would get his butt kicked.
Okay.
Like, you can't.
I don't think he will, because I think Nate Diaz is a guy that you can,
it's crazy.
Grapple with and make it last 5 rounds and go away.
Can't go into an octagon, and MMA fighters can't go into the ring and box.
We'll see.
It turns out those are two completely different sports.
Jake Paul did lose the last time out before this fight, so
to a boxer.
Yeah, I agree.
That's not even nearly a professional boxer. His brother's the professional boxer.
Really?
Wasn't it the Fury brother? Or was it another one?
I thought you were talking about the Paul, Luke, or Jake.
No.
Jake, what's the other one's name?
Logan.
There you go.
Yeah, you're really in tune with the Paul brothers. I can't believe we just wasted 10 minutes on the Paul brothers.
Great cash,
That's probably the most wasted time we've had on this show in a long time.
Oh, I could definitely give you a long list of wasted topics.
That was wasted time. These are precious moments right now on this radio show today,
yeah?
and we just spent it talking about two losers.
Well, let me go ahead and fast forward and get to our next topic, which is the top 100 players of 2023 according to the NFL. And on that list, Jalen Hurts, the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback, is listed at number 3 overall. If you're keeping score at home, Mahomes is number 1, number 2, Justin Jefferson, number 3, Jalen Hurts. Pretty damn amazing. And I give this list more credit than a lot of other. I give this list more credit than any other list out there. And I'm not a big list guy, but that is the quintessential mark of sports talk radio in the summertime list and Mount Rushmore.
Is this better than the ESPN list where they had coaches, execs, and scouts ranking the top 10 in positions?
This is good, but it's not quite naming a dead quarterback that's going to not lead your team to a Super Bowl list. More on that.
God.
But
Colin was wrong.
Great cash, homie.
Anyways, Jalen Hurts, number 3 on the list. Your thoughts? Because I dig it. That dude has shown up, proved his worth. And when you have guys, and we'll play it a little bit later because they cut up a nice little audio bit. When you have guys that go up against you every day or throughout the course of the week or anything along those lines, right? Or throughout the course of a season, it stands out. So Thibodeau, who plays for the Giants, said he's a guy who can rip it, not just deep balls, not just short passes, but he is accurate. The rest of the Eagles that were listed here were A.J. Brown at 22, Kelsey 37, Jansen 41, Reddick 48, Darius Slay 65, and Devontae Smith 100. Shout out to Kyle Pagan because 2 players were on the list last year, Kelsey and Darius Slay at 71 and 77. Jalen Hurts, number 3.
Yeah, winning changes a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these lists, every time the player lists come out, it is very clear, they're not looking ahead. They're not looking into next season or, what's the next 5 years going to look like? Who's better quarterback player? It's what were you last year? And Jalen Hurts, I would even argue, probably the second best player last year. He was close to the MVP. Now, there were some that thought he should have won the MVP over Mahomes. I thought Mahomes was correct, but I would say Jalen Hurts is probably the second best player in the league last year over Justin Jefferson. So yeah, I get it. I don't take too much into these lists. Players aren't the guys I would go to make a list like this.
Really?
And I think we've seen plenty of examples of that, especially on this list.
What? These are players. These are guys that play the game.
It doesn't mean
night in, night out practice. They know who's real and who's not.
Okay, do they play everyone? Have they played every player?
What does that mean? They know who's good.
Do they?
Yes.
I don't think so.
How? How do you play in the NFL and not know who's
because
good?
You're not paying attention to everybody else. You're paying attention to you and who's in front of you.
I'm sure they're not pulling every player possible. I'm sure they're pulling players that have interest that actually do pay attention to the league. This list actually means something more to me than any other list. And I'm not saying this is the end all be all. No. How is this crazy? These guys compete.
First of all, the coaches, execs, and scouts list. I wasn't even in love with some of it. That one has more to do because they are legitimately
politics involved.
No politics. How is there not? There are not personal biases involved in this list. No personal biases at all. Their friends, they're not going to rate higher than somebody else.
Wasn't it Chris Jones that said that he had the most amazing quarterback performance of all time, and Patrick Mahomes is his teammate?
Okay,
so wouldn't there be bias towards that?
Yeah, that he didn't say Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes.
He said Jalen Hurts
had the best. Yeah, Jalen Hurts had a great Super Bowl performance. It was great. He gave him props. I guarantee you, if he phrased the question, Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurts, Chris Jones, 100 out of 100 times will say Patrick Mahomes.
And that's why he was number 1 on the list.
Yeah,
so that backs me up even more here.
Okay, so what do you say to Justin Fields being ranked higher than Trevor Lawrence? I mean, like 10 to 15 spots higher.
I say it's wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're not seeing everything. They're not seeing everyone, but they see Justin Fields like, hey, that guy is exciting. That guy's a great athlete, big time arm. Like there's really exciting things about Justin Fields. And I think players marvel at that. But can a player decipher which quarterback is better than the other. I don't think that's something they're doing all the time. Like, I don't think every player in the NFL, you could just say, oh, well, they can be a GM. They know how to scout talent. They know what they're doing.
I
Not every
say
player
that
does that.
Again, how many were asked to fill out this list?
That I don't. I've completely stayed away from this. I don't care about this list.
Give me 200,
it's not a great list.
If you
every
give me
year, it's
200 of those players that fill out this list, I guarantee there's probably a good 50 of them in that list of people that were approached to give their opinion, to give their rankings, could very well be a future GM in the league.
I'm sure there are some, most of them, 90% of them, 95, 99% of them won't be and don't have the ability to do it. This list means it means nothing to me.
Right.
It's cool for the players because you're getting recognition from your peers, which I'm sure means more to them than a list like a media list or anything else like that. But does it mean it's the most accurate or best list to attribute to a player's ranking? No.
All right. Sean Jansen, I am Sean Brace. Tonight,
and you're also wrong.
The new Hard Knocks debuts tonight.
You watching?
I'm going to go see Barbie this evening. Yeah.
You're going to see Barbie?
Going to see Barbie. Me and the wife, little date night.
Let's go! Are you going to wear pink? Where's your pink?
No.
You're not wearing any pink. You're wearing black. You're ready for Oppenheimer. You're not ready for Barbie.
What you see is what you get. I don't know. I'm going home. If my wife is wearing pink, I told you.
Are you going to do the doubleheader? Are you going to go from Barbie to Oppenheimer? Come on.
No.
You got to do both. Your wife can go home and you can just sit by yourself.
We tried to see this at the movie tavern, and on a Tuesday night, it was jammed up front to back.
The movie tavern?
Yeah. Yeah, come on there, Johnny Cinema. What's the
movie tavern?
It's fantastic. Recliner
I'm sure.
seats.
Okay.
You can get like a
Is this one where you get like a full course meal?
Yeah, you can get whatever you want.
No, that's not what movies are all about.
Oh, come on. What are movies all about then?
Just get a snack.
Popcorn and soda.
Just get a snack and enjoy it.
Let's go out to the kitchen. Let's go out to the kitchen.
I thought I was a good movie snack goer, but I thought my buddy had a great combination. I went to see Oppenheimer again, and I went with this buddy. He had a great combination of snacks. He had a medium popcorn. He got red vines. That's classic. Great snack. But I thought what the nice touch was.
Calls them red vines.
That's what they're called. No. There's a brand.
Twizzlers.
There's a brand. No. It's not Twizzlers. Okay. It's not Twizzlers. It's red. It's the Red Vine brand.
Right.
They're different.
Yeah, I know.
And I think a lot of people think Red Vine is better than Twizzlers. I don't know. I'm a Twizzler guy, so I can't say so myself.
Gotta have it.
But then also the other snack, and I thought was a great snack to end with, and I think he did. The last box he opened was the Junior Mints. I think they're called. So nice little mint action on the way out.
Junior Mints.
Instead of popcorn breath and red vine breath, you get a little mint in there.
Sour Patch
It's a good way to end the snack.
Some M&Ms, popcorn, chocolate goes with popcorn.
Because I usually just get a large popcorn and a large soda and just call it a day.
That's what we're gonna end up doing.
Now, do you share the popcorn and soda?
It's my wife. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, maybe not. Yeah, the soda. I mean, she might get her own. Who knows? Although it's going to cost us a second mortgage to go to this movie.
My God. It's not. It is a lot, actually.
Yeah, it is.
It can be.
Absurd. All right. Let's
not for me when, you get unlimited pass and you use one large popcorn for
doing it right.
2 or 3 movies.
All right. We got a lot to get to. We got a couple guests. We got a Daily Ticket debut that I'm looking forward to talking to this gentleman. But other stuff that will come up on today's show. Commanders players are complaining about Eric Bieniemy's coaching style. Everybody wanted to see Eric Bieniemy become a head coach. Well, all of a sudden, people are losing their minds down in D.C. We'll have more on that. A good friend to the program, Yogi Roth, is Mr. Pac-12. He put a post out. I definitely want to read that over everything because, man, it's
the Pac what?
Yeah. Well, you can take your shots, but when you read this post, it's going to make you take a step back. And people are getting college football all wrong these days, but we all know that. And we got an update on last night's Orioles situation where they supposedly suspended the gentleman for just basically discussing facts of how bad the Orioles have been in years past against the Tampa Bay Rays. We do have an update there. We'll give that to you. We also have an update in the Alabama River Brawl. It seems like we got a couple warrants out, including for the gentleman who smashed a chair over 2 people's heads. So we got an update there. Rest in peace, Made in America. We got Phil's. We got a full MLB card. We got NFL conversation coming your way. with Bill Colarulo from Legal's Hands to the Face. Bill Colarulo, Legal Hands to the Face. You know him, you love him. Join us every Tuesday at 3:30 for the past couple of weeks. We will lock him in because I'll tell you what, he is dialed in on all things Philadelphia Eagles. And we're going to open up with the conversation about the linebacker room. How concerned is he with Nakobe Dean's ankle situation and now some of these new guys that have been brought in? We'll find out Bill's take on that. And then also at 4:30, we got a gentleman making his daily ticket debut. He hosts the Money Pot Podcast, and you can find him at Money Pot Podcast. Excuse me. Moss Money will be joining
sound like
us.
that guy on the soccer broadcast last night.
I caught an F-bomb on the way out. Money Pot Podcast. Yes. So Mott's Money will be joining us at 4:30. We're going to talk about some NFL, get his thoughts on everything, find out what's catching his attention, all that and more. It's right here on the Daily Ticket. Sean Brace, John Jansen. Don't go anywhere. Let's talk some birds on the other side back of this.
The Gambler. Philly's home for all things sports gambling. Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Eastbound Schuylkill crawling 202 to approaching Gulf Bills. Crashes only the shoulder getting by. Further east, heavy Montgomery Drive to south. Westbound Jam Boulevard to Belmont. 95 southbound, so Cotman to Bridge. Betsy Ross to Girard. And Walt Whitman to the Girard Point Bridge. Ayatollah total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Pennsylvania Department of Health.
Ticks are in season, and many carry diseases. They can be in fields and fairways, at picnics and parks, backyards and baseball fields. Protect, check, remove. Learn more at health.pa.gov/ticks.
Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Every day, you breathe in thousands of microscopic germs, allergens, and viruses. Don't let these invisible invaders make breathing through your nose impossible. Flush them out with Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril around the back of the nose and out the other nostril, helping flush out all the nasty things that make you miserable. Nearly 4 million people use Navage to breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. People like Cindy, a verified Navage user who writes, "I've had such awful nasal congestion for the last couple of years. I bought Navage and OMG, I can breathe again. I love this thing. Goodbye, Neti Pot. Hello, Navage." End quote. If you suffer from sinus congestion, allergies, or snoring, then Navage is the safe, drug-free solution you've been looking for. Navage is at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and Navage.com. Navage. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Goodbye, Jeep Summer of Savings.
Hello.
Gary Barbera's countdown to kickoff. If you missed this one, you're walking right, Birds Coach Nick.
Hey, this is Coach Sirianni. Is Barbera the best? Boy, I guess.
Follow that bear, because right now, new Barbera Jeeps are a flat 15% off.
Philadelphia's Credit Connection.
Brand spanking new.
Jeeps, cheap.
15% off the sticker. Hey, what about Nick's pick?
Boy, I guess.
A nearly new, barely broken in Jeep Grand Cherokee.
I'm not kidding.
$15,990.
And you bought the Barbera.
For your choice, 15% off brand new Jeep. Previously enjoyed Jeep Grand Cherokee. $15,990 during Gary Barbera's countdown to kickoff. Right, Coach Nick?
Is Barbera the best? Boy, I guess.
Supplies last. 15% off select inventory. Plus tax tags, $449. Pre-owned starting at $15,990. See GaryBarbera.com for details.
Barbera! 15% off new.
Jeeps, cheap.
Pre-owned Grand Cherokee. $15,990.
CEOs You Should Know, brought to you by Comcast Business.
I'm Hassan Reddick, partial owner of R7. We are an energy drink company, and our mission was to bring a product to the market that your everyday consumer could take it 7 days a week and not have to worry about health-related risk. So it's something that you could take before your workout, something that you could take after your workout, focusing on that health component, the health benefits, making sure that what you're putting in your body is good and make you feel good as well. Over at R7, one of our biggest goals is taking the profit and putting it back into the community. For an example, I have a camp coming up. We're going to take some of that money that we have made so far and put that into the camp, put it back into the youth, put it back into the community. That way we can help build a community, help see it thrive. My advice to my 17-year-old self would be to listen more, listen to people. I've done a couple different businesses since I've been in the league, and man, it's a lot of ups and downs, and a lot of them I wish I would have took more advice on. So that would be the biggest thing, to help myself from some of the hardships and losses that I have taken, but be just simply listen, just listen to people. You can go to drinkr7.com for any information about the drink. If you want to stay in touch and keep up with us as we continue to grow, you can follow us on Instagram at drinkr7 or on Twitter at drink_r7.
Comcast Business, the complete connectivity solution. Cybersecurity, internet, and mobile, all from one provider. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Can we make 10,000 thread count sheets?
For Lens Linens, staying in the comfort zone is never an option.
Maximum thread count we could possibly thread.
An industrial seamstress would make their sweet dreams come true.
I want it to feel like you're on a snowflake, on cotton candy, on marshmallows, on a cloud.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm with this.
Hard Knocks debut this evening. The New York Football Jets. Supposedly there was a monster number attached to the Hall of Fame game as far as ratings are concerned, and shouldn't shock anybody, right? This country eats, sleeps, and drinks all things football, whether it's college or NFL. So I know I heard some New York radio, New York sports talk going crazy. Oh, everyone's all fired about the Jets. I don't know. Do you think I'm wrong on that? If they put the Birds versus the Steelers Hall of Fame game, don't you think it's getting the same number?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's getting the number because like Aaron Rodgers was on the sideline or anything.
Yeah, he didn't even play, and we all knew that he wasn't going to play. All right, let's talk some Eagles because there's a lot going on right now down at NovaCare Complex. Some good, a lot good. Some wondering what's going on. Some question marks, maybe some flags. I said yesterday that the alarms were going off, and my co-host over here, John Jansen, disagreed with me to a point. So Bill Colarulo from Legal Hands to the Face joining us right now on the Gambler Hotline. First of all, Bill, how you doing, my friend?
All good. What's going on, gentlemen?
Oh, another day in paradise over here, sir. Of course, all things Philadelphia Eagles you can find on Bill's page at Legal Hands to the Face, doing a bang-up job, catching a lot of attention, and really digging into the history. You're like a Eagles history buff. Are you taking over for Ray Diddy? Is that what you're doing here?
Ray Diddy's an all-time great, man. I'm just trying to do the best I can. That's all.
Amen, man. Yeah, keep doing it. I saw something that you posted over the weekend where it was like the last fake field goal that was successful for the Eagles, correct? And Chris Carter caught the touchdown?
Yeah, a long time ago, like over 30 years ago. Chris Carter from I'm forgetting the name now. It was Ruzek was the place kicker that threw it to him. So going way back. A lot of people don't even remember Chris Carter was on the Eagles.
Right, yeah. A lot of people do not remember that. Buddy Ryan and Chris Carter, he basically, I believe, says Buddy Ryan saved his career by getting rid of him. Of course, what he was able to do with the Minnesota Vikings. We know that. All right, let's talk a little Eagles here, Bill. And I want to open up with the fact that Jalen Hurts was ranked by his brothers in combat in the NFL. Nobody knows the game better than the folks that play the game, right? Can we all agree with that?
The coaches that coach them?
I'll take the players' thoughts on the players. Anyways, Jalen Hurts, number 3 overall. And I'm not a guy that puts a lot of stock into any list, but this one actually means a little something more because it's from the players. Bill, over to you. Does this list mean a damn thing to you?
Yeah, I think it's about time that Jalen starts to get some national recognition. You saw the Pro Football Focus list that came out earlier this month. They didn't even have him in the top 50, which is just crazy to me. They had 6 quarterbacks in the top 50, and not one of them was named Jalen Hurts. So it's about time I think he starts getting some national recognition. A.J. Brown, in his press conference today, was asked about it. He said, as a friend, I'm very happy for him and what he's been able to accomplish. As a teammate, I don't care about it. I know he doesn't care either. So I like that mindset. But it's about time. I mean, you look at the year that this guy had last year, and Jalen Hurts didn't just have a good year. He didn't just have a great year. He had a historic year. What he did in the Super Bowl, no player in NFL history has ever done. The stat line that Jalen Hurts put up in the biggest game of the year, no one's ever done. 300 passing yards, 0 interceptions, 70% completion rate, 70 yards on the ground, and 3 rushing touchdowns in the entire history of the NFL, no one's ever put up a stat line like that in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it was impressive, and I still have no idea how the hell they lost that game. But Mahomes is on the other side, and go figure, he's number one on the list. And I don't think anybody is really too caught up as far as that is concerned.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to argue.
It
that
is
one.
interesting, though. Just
he's only won that twice, by the way. He's only been named top player in the NFL twice in his 5 years. That's ridiculous.
Oh, so what? You going to be upset that he was probably top 5?
He should be number one every year until further notice.
Wasn't Aaron Rodgers the back-to-back MVP? Shouldn't he be number one? If he won the MVP,
we all know.
We all
know who the best quarterback is.
All right, let's keep it moving. Talking Birds with Bill Colarulo from Legal Hands to the Face. You can find them on socials on Twitter at Legal Hands, the number 2 Face. Mandatory follow already if you don't. Let's talk a little linebackers. Howie Roseman, he was aggressive over the weekend. Brought 2 new names in. Of course, my alarm bells are going off because Dean is a guy that has enormous expectations taking over for TJ Edwards in the season that he had. Are you concerned with the fact that he's dealing with a little bit of an ankle injury? And does it kind of tell you that maybe the Eagles are concerned by bringing in a couple new players this past weekend?
I think this is long overdue. I have been concerned since the day they let TJ Edwards and Kazir White walk. In fact, I was on your show a couple weeks ago talking about how concerned I was about the linebacker position. So I think this is something they should have done a long time ago. Nakobe Dean, we're all hopeful, is going to be the stud he was at Georgia. But even if you remove this latest injury he has, the guy's only played 34 snaps on defense in the NFL. He has 13 career tackles. So we are putting all of this on his shoulders. He has 13 career tackles. So I think they needed some depth at that position. They did bring in Nicholas Morrow from Chicago, but I think there was a reason that Chicago was willing to let him go and pay TJ Edwards as much money as they did. And then outside of Morrow and Dean, you were dealing with really special teams players, Christian Ellis, Sean Bradley, and then they just released Davion Taylor. So they needed to bring in some depth. I just don't know how much these guys have left in the tank. Miles Jack and Zach Cunningham, 2 former second-round picks. At least it brings some experience to that linebacker room. Jack's played over 100 games in his career, Cunningham over 80 games in his career. But what concerns me is there's a reason these guys were available. Miles Jack played last year for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He signed a 2-year deal in the offseason. Well, they didn't let him finish out his contract. They released him after 1 year because of some up and down, inconsistent play. And Cunningham, he only played 6 games last year for the Tennessee Titans. He was released with a failed physical designation because of an elbow injury. I'm just not sure how much these guys are going to be able to contribute. And the Eagles don't have many options outside of them. In fact, today at practice, Miles Jack's been on the team for 2 days. He's getting first-team reps today, which is crazy.
Now, that's only because Dean's dealing with the injury, thoh, correct? So
that shows the lack of depth, though.
No, I think
that's a good indicator.
I get it, absolutely. I just,
and obviously that's one of the bigger concerns. What other concerns would you have? Because it's easy to gush about this team, and like it's easy to see, they have the talent in all the right places. But where is the concern? Because you mentioned linebacker, but also you mentioned some of those linebacker on a certain part of the game that they didn't do well in last year, and that's special teams. So what are some of the other concerns outside of linebacker?
That was a great transition right there, Jansen. Really good transition.
Well, I mean, what? I don't do that. I don't do that.
That was professional, Sean. Take notes. Take notes, Bryce.
You remember, he doesn't agree with our thoughts on that list, Bill. That's all.
Yeah. But no, that's something that I don't think a lot of people are talking about is the special teams unit. It struggled all season last year, and it came back to haunt us at the worst possible moment in Super Bowl 57 with that Kadarius Toney punt return. But I firmly believe, and I don't care what the Philadelphia Eagles say or do, I think that Michael Clay, the special teams coordinator, would not be here if Shane Steichen and Jonathan Gannon didn't both leave for head coaching jobs. I firmly believe that Nick Sirianni did not want to have to replace all 3 coordinators going into this season, so they bring back Michael Clay. They even gave him more money, which shocked me when you look at some of the numbers from last season. The Eagles were in the bottom 3 for kickoff returns against. They were in the bottom 2 for net punting yards, and they were in the middle of the pack on both kick returns and punt returns. So that's an area of this team that has to improve. You've heard the old cliche, football is a 3-phase sport. offense, defense, and special teams. And we're talking about that linebacker position. We've been talking about that safety position. We cannot afford to give the other team good field position when your defense has some question marks like they're going to have going into this season. So that's an area they absolutely have to firm up for 2023.
No, you're right about that. And man, that Tony return, I forgot about it.
Nightmares.
Yeah.
Nightmares, Brace.
Yeah, I definitely forgot about that.
Yeah, out of a lot of plays that you could
Yeah.
mention how the Chiefs got back in it, that's probably the worst one.
That was one. That was definitely one. Of course, the fumble, no question about that, and just the play as far as the coverage on the outside, but the same damn play both times. Anyways, enough of the nightmare juice. Let's get on over to some good stuff here. And I don't know, is there anything? Okay, Bill, open-ended question here. What are you looking for specifically? Preseason game 1, preseason game 2, 3. Is there anything depth? Is something on your mind? Like, for instance, this weekend, the only thing I'm going to be paying attention to,
Can they beat the Ravens?
is that final score where they're catching 6. I love the Eagles +6 in game 1, and I'm not a preseason wager type guy, but that's what's on my mind. For you, though, you're in a little bit more depth and more detail. I love that. So what are you looking for this weekend versus the Ravens?
It's become so difficult going into these preseason games because you just don't know how much Nick Sirianni is going to play some of the guys who are going to contribute this year. So we don't know who's going to play, but what I would be looking forward to see is some of these linebackers. I doubt Nakobe Dean is going to play now with this ankle injury. He was a guy I was looking forward to seeing how he looked going into his second year. But really, I guess, the rookies will probably play. So that's what I'm most excited to see. We've been hearing a lot of great things about Nolan Smith off of the edge, a lot of good things about Jalen Carter at that defensive tackle position. Well, let's see what they can do against other NFL talent. I'm hopeful they're going to get a lot of plays. But Nick Sirianni, he's put an emphasis on keeping his players healthy, which worked last year. We know all 22 opening day starters played in the Super Bowl, but I don't know how much those guys are actually going to play. Do they let Miles Jack and Zach Cunningham play? I don't know. Both these guys are, Cunningham's 28. Jack will be 28 before the opening day against the New England Patriots. But those are two guys, too. I'd like to see what they have left. I just don't know if we're going to see them get any playing time.
All right, Bill. Oh, what do you got, Jansen?
Yeah, just one thing with the preseason as well. They have their 3 wide receiver set: AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins. A little bit of kind of questions about after that. Any wide receivers you're looking forward to on the back end potentially in the preseason?
Yeah, Olamide Zaccheaus, local kid from St. Joe's Prep, apparently had a real big catch today in training camp, a long ball from Jalen Hurts. I'd like to see what he can do because last year on the Falcons, with really up and down quarterback play between Marcus Mariota and Desmond Ridder, he put up decent numbers. He had more catches than Quez Watkins. He had more receiving yards than Quez Watkins. So that's a guy I'd like to see, Olamide Zaccheaus. They just activated Devin Allen. He's been hurt. I don't know if he's going to get into that preseason game, but man, that guy is fast. We know his history with being a track star. So I'd like to see him as well. But yeah, Olamide Zaccheaus is a guy that I was hopeful was going to push Quez Watkins for that third wide receiver position. But from all accounts so far, Watkins has come into training camp with the right mindset. He's worked hard this offseason, and we're hearing stories about how good he looks. But you got to take that with a grain of salt because a couple years ago, everybody was saying how good Jalen Reagor was going to be coming out of training camp, and that never came to fruition.
Also came up on Bill's some of the videos that he was doing. What did Reagor do? Was his was a punt return, correct? The last Eagles punt return was Jalen Reagor?
Yeah, you believe that? The last Eagles punt return was Jalen Reagor. And, people are brutal on social media, but they're commenting underneath. He even dropped the punt because if you watch the highlights,
yes, he did.
He does. He bobbles the punt, picks it up, and then goes. But, yeah, he couldn't even catch the damn punt on the last punt return for a touchdown.
Also, miracle at the Meadowlands, too. Deshaun dropped the punt as well, but obviously a little different.
That's not the part I remember.
No, yeah, exactly that.
No.
Bill, we have the brand new episode of Hard Knocks. Are you going to be tuned in tonight for Hard Knocks?
I don't know if I'll watch it tonight. I got some things going on, but I'll definitely tune in, watch it on demand. I always enjoy seeing the behind-the-scenes stuff. It's always fun. I'm happy the Eagles aren't on it, though. I think it's a massive distraction. So
yeah,
let other teams be on it.
The guy before us, he had something detailed 2 weeks ago about teams that have been on that, whether it was the Amazon one that just started 3 years ago or the one that's been airing that's going to have tonight. I think it's like one playoff win out of all of the teams that have debuted. Now, it's always a bad team. We know that. But it's still something to be said about those cameras in your face. And I don't know. I'm right there with you on that. I'm happy that Jalen Hurts denied quarterback and all that. But I think it is going to be intriguing from the Jets' perspective with everybody's favorite, Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, you don't mean Zach Wilson? That's what I'm interested to see.
Sauce Gardner, Aaron Rodgers, and then everybody
Give me
else.
Zach Wilson.
All right. Bill, always
I still love that Zach Wilson. I still love that he said if they bring in a veteran quarterback, he's going to make their life a living hell. That didn't age well.
No. Like a warm jug of milk. No, definitely did not. Bill, outstanding as usual, man. We'll continue to follow you at Legal Hands to the Face. Always great to get you locked up in here. I like this Tuesday spot, so if we can make that happen for weeks to come, let's do it. And also, I owe you we're going home and away, Jansen. I'm hopping up on Legal Hands to the Face to talk about some prop bets. So I'll have something in store for you there. Let's lock that in.
I can't wait to fade all of them.
Smart man.
The people want Sean Brace. People want Sean Brace. They've been asking for it.
To fade me. That's a smart man. I like that. Do that. Bill, always a pleasure, man. We'll catch up down the road, sir.
All right, thanks, guys. Talk soon.
My man, there he is. Once again, Bill Colarulo.
There he is.
Legal Hands to the Face. All right, I do have this just to let you know, and I was going back and forth with DraftKings Sportsbook this morning. The sportsbook itself, the handle itself, tweeted at me. They came out, and if you remember the Hard Knocks last year with the Detroit Lions with Hutchinson, and he did Billie Jean, it was phenomenal, and it was really good. It got everybody going. Everybody was, clapping along. It's these talent shows. It's the best part, right? Like, if I said this a couple years ago, I know I'm not the only one.
The talent shows, and also if
every
you can get
team should put out the talent show, record it, edit it, put out the talent show.
Fair.
We all want to see the Eagles talent show. I would watch.
Who would you want to see this year?
I'd watch every team. I would. The salary bonus or the what is it? Not the salary bonus, the signing bonus. When they get up there and they're like the first overall pick, like Hutchinson was, and he gives the sign, and then you get a next guy who's like a dude that was just undrafted, and he's like, "Yeah, I didn't make anything," and then they got to sing this. I mean, it's the best. Anyways, so they showed Hutchinson. I said that's the second best moment in Hard Knocks history. And DraftKings Sportsbook, I don't know who it was. Could have been Jared Carabas. Could have been, one of the owners of DraftKings. Could have been my guy, Ethan. I have no idea. Somebody tweeted back at me.
Some intern.
They said, oh, yeah? What's number one? And for all you young whippersnappers out there, the Baltimore Ravens, it's no wonder that they ended up winning the Super Bowl that year because of the personalities and the superstars that they had on that squad, from Shannon Sharp to Ray Lewis to Rod Woodson. You got on the list. I mean, wow. Brian Billick had himself a hell of a squad. Goose, rest in peace. Anyways, this by far was the best moment in Hard Knocks history. I think it was 2000 Baltimore Ravens. And what it is the rookie imitating Shannon Sharp. And this is how it sounded.
Tim is going to portray our tight end. That's great. Oh, there you go. I ain't see you have him at that. So, Shannon, I know the Baltimore Ravens been hit with a lot of injuries. Yes, you bet. I seen that special on HBO, School of Hard Knocks, with Sarah Gooser locked the tight ends in the room.
You humiliated me, dude, on national television. So
that's Shannon Sharp right there.
Well, yeah, I knew that Goose had I knew Goose had something to do with that, and I told Goose then, I said, Goose, I want my restitution. You
We'll take that down from there. And it's just fantastic.
So I don't watch a lot of Hard Knocks, but the one that always got me was the Browns coach Bob Wiley.
Oh,
every time he said Hut, and the gut would just go.
I think he died too. Yeah.
Don't do that. No, he did not.
No, I think. Oh,
no, I don't think he did.
You're right. I think he did. I'm telling you, because they had a rest in peace for the guy with the gut. Yeah, from Hard Knocks. We put it out there. Some people came right back, including Mark Henry, with the "Let's go get a snack" from Rex Ryan. That was a good one.
I don't know if he did.
Really? Oh, jeez. Did I just kill another person?
Why did you do that?
Damn. I don't like to hurt anybody. I just killed 2 people in the air.
Why do you keep doing it? You got to stop.
Bud Selig's still alive. Can't believe it.
Oh, come on.
No, come on. Look it up. I don't think he's alive still.
I literally looked up the Wikipedia page. There's nothing there.
What did you type into the Wikipedia page to look this guy up? Brown's fat coach? Hard Knocks?
No, there's been a bunch of tweets going around about it. And so I knew the name Bob Wiley.
Oh,
I looked it up,
jeez.
and I don't think he is.
No way. Sorry, Bob. I thought you were dead.
Jeez. You got to stop doing that.
Well, damn. He is still alive.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? Okay.
Yeah, 72. It's a great life. He was everywhere.
Is that it? It was so funny.
Jeez. This dude.
But the thing is, he was legitimately like really funny too. It wasn't just the guy.
Oh, he's the man.
Because he was doing something like, "Oh, we didn't stretch back in the war" or something like that.
Dude, he's right now he's an offensive line coach for the Vegas Vipers. Who the hell are they?
Oh, is he really? That's an XFL team?
Yes, it is. Good call. All right. Danny Garcia. I wonder if that's the Danny Garcia from Hero Boxing. Anyways, moving on. Hard Knocks. Yeah, I did put that out there. Let's have a snack. That was a good one. Hutchinson was good. Yeah, if you got things, the fight between DeAndre Hopkins, like that was really good. It has to stand the test of the time, or else it really isn't all that good, right? Right?
Yeah, definitly has to.
All right.
Bob Wiley stood the test of time.
Sorry, Bob. I apologize.
Unbelievable.
I didn't actually kill him, though.
You tried.
Did.
You tried.
Killed Bud Selig. I did not kill Bob Wiley. Other side, we got plenty to discuss. Speaking of dead people.
That's not right.
No, it's not. But come on, man. Colin Cowherd.
Come on.
Is on before us. And I can't even explain it. You just got to hear it for yourself. And on the other side, you want to talk about one of the worst errors in sports talk radio / television history. This is up there. And it happened on our airwaves. And I mean, it will stop you in your tracks if you've paid attention to the very least, as far as people who have been football players in the NFL who have passed away. And man, I don't know how that slips through the cracks, but we'll discuss it. I promise you it's a soundbite you don't want to miss from our very own Colin Cowherd, who was talked about last week going back to the ESPN. And I was telling you, I think it's a great move. Cowherd's money. Cowherd's one of the best, which he is. His brand is great. But my man had himself a terrible show.
He was awful.
After this, he kept on calling Mike McDaniels. He did a classic, added an S like we do in Philadelphia. McDaniels, Chase Daniels. It's Mike McDaniel from the Miami Dolphins, not McDaniels. Anyways, we're focusing on the small errors here, but wait till you hear this soundbite on the other side. We got a lot to do. Do not go anywhere. More Daily Ticket. Back after this. Hey man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No. Call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com.
This is Harry Mays from the Swing It and Ding It Golf Podcast. For 8 years in a row now, Mall Chevrolet has been South Jersey's #1 Chevy dealer. It could be because they treat their customers right. That's why Mall Chevy was voted a top 100 dealer in the country for customer satisfaction. But I still think it's because of their motto. We sell Chevys for less. Come see for yourself. Visit Mall Chevrolet on Haddonfield Road in Cherry Hill, across from the Cherry Hill Mall, or online at mallchevy.com. Find your perfect drive at Mall Chevrolet. mallchevy.com.
Happy 62nd birthday, Granddad.
Thanks, sweetheart.
I got you this.
A mug. Oh, thank you. What does it say? Beware. If you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of hospitalization from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Sheba presents What Cats Want.
Cats want Sheba Perfect Portions, cuts, and gravy. 2 convenient servings of roasted chicken covered in savory gravy. Know what else cats want? The red dot from your laser pointer. On the wall, on the ceiling, on the couch, on the floor, on the vase. Buy Sheba Perfect Portions, cuts, and gravy. 0 mess, 0 leftovers. Snap, peel, serve. Sheba, what cats want.
Hey guys, this is Keenan Thompson. I have a problem with you. Yes, you. None of y'all told me that AutoTrader has millions of new and used cars that I can shop from home. I thought we were friends. I put smiles on your face, but I'm not smiling. No one told me that with AutoTrader, a dealer can deliver cars to my home or that I could shop by price on AutoTrader. No one. Consider this friendship that you just learned we had officially over. Finally, it's easy. AutoTrader.
If this were a Reese's TV ad, you'd be staring at a Reese's peanut butter cup. And sure, my voice is peanut buttery smooth, but still, you need to see the peanut butter cups, right? No? I can really just say Reese's and you'll go get some? Okay. Reese's. 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 Really working, actually. Reese's. Reese's. I'm on to something. Reese's. Reese's. Reese's.
Staples has great prices on everything you need for back to school. Right now, a 24-pack of Crayola crayons and marble comp books are just 50 cents each. Pricing may vary in store and online. NC 26, comp books in store only. School on, save on at Staples.
This is Super Bowl champion Alfred Williams. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
Football first, where Eagles offensive lineman Josh Sills returned to practice today after being acquitted of sex assault charges in Ohio, saying that he's thankful to be back. To baseball, where the Phillies made a roster move before today's doubleheader against Washington. They recalled righty Luis Ortiz for an extra bullpen arm. And Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund is launching a sports investment company, making the country a big player in the industry. I'm Scott Davidson.
Owning a Mercedes-Benz EV isn't just extraordinary, it's extra easy. With full remote access to your vehicle from your phone via the Mercedes Me Connect app, the vehicles are all electric. The feeling is all Mercedes. The choice is all yours. Learn more. MBUSA.com/EQ.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival is coming back to T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas this September.
Superstar artists from every genre.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
Buy tickets now at AXS.com.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Heads up 95 southbound is crawling Allegheny to the Wall Whitman. Crashes on the left lane getting by. Schuylkill eastbound, that's crawling 202 to approaching Golf Mills with a crash in the left lane. Further east, heavy Montgomery Drive to south. Westbound Jam Boulevard to Belmont. Architella total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples has what you need for travel. Passport photos, luggage, headphones, even personal travel-sized items. Now get $10 off your purchase of 30 or more when you buy a travel service. In-store only offer ends September 16th. Exclusions apply. Staples, your first stop to nonstop travel.
1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced. Let our professional parts people test your battery for free at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Bachelor Happy Hour, the one and only official Bachelor Nation podcast, is back. Go behind the scenes with your hosts, Bachelor in Paradise Season 7 newlyweds Joe Amabile and Serena Pitt, for real stories about what happens in Bachelor Mansion.
Here on Bachelor Happy Hour, we'll be putting all the guys in the hot seat. We'll have exclusive interviews. We'll be the first to talk to the men. We're going to bring the drama into the house and leave probably brokenhearted.
Listen to Bachelor Happy Hour on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The biannual blowout is just a week away, and we've got a lot of work to do.
Keenan's Rug Emporium is rolling out a Labor Day bonanza.
Have that flat weave shipment coming in.
He needs 10 new sales associates as the crowds loom large.
Can someone run a stock check on all the Moroccan 8x10s?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Rizumkizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Nothing is everything.
With Skyrizi, 3 out of people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Your home for Villanova basketball is WDAS and WD273D, Fox Sports Radio Philadelphia.
Daily Tickets here on a Tuesday. Sean Brace, John Jansen. Phillies doubleheader getting started here in just a minute. Once again, a little flip of the switch, a little flick of the wrist for today. Yesterday, Ranger Suarez was supposed to get the start, and he will in game 2. Wow. We've had some movement in the line, John Jansen.
Oh, no. Well, I bet the lineups, because I didn't check the lineups when we were talking about it.
Zach
I'm sure that changed
Wheeler,
something.
minus 360.
Okay.
Dude.
There has to be some type of lineup.
Did the Nationals go out last night? Like, they're not a bad squad.
It's not many times you see this, by the way. The Phillies are a 2.5 run favorite.
I still got 1.5.
I'm seeing 2.5 at plus 105.
Actually, there wasn't much movement on the run line. It was minus 1.5 or minus 125.
I am right now seeing on DraftKings Sportsbook the Phillies at 2.5 on the run line.
Oh, just bumped.
Plus 105.
Plus 105. Yep. That's correct, sir. That
you don't see that often. Hardly at all, to be honest with you.
And I don't think many people are going to see this game front and center. That's for sure. That's an empty ballpark right there.
You want to go? Oh, let's call it. Let's go.
I'm going.
You want to go to Citizens Bank?
I'm going to Barbie.
Oh, that's right.
We got a daily ticket debut coming up here at 4:35. Moss Money from the Money Pot Podcast. There you go. I'm going to screw that up when he hops on it. But he's going to.
You already screwed it
daily. I did earlier, but I just got it right. Are you one of these types that always rip on people to get stuff wrong?
Absolutely.
But never
because I'm
give
always
credit?
right. I'm perfect.
Yeah. Anyway,
how excited are you for Barbie? By the way. What are your expectations going into it?
Margot Robbie.
That's it? Come on, man.
What? She's phenomenal. She's gorgeous.
Great.
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
I'm a big
She's
fan.
also one of the best actresses on the planet. Maybe the best.
She's not the best actress.
She's one of. Right now, currently, yes. From the performances she's put in, especially this year.
Jennifer Lawrence, right? Is that who it is? Is that her name?
Margot Robbie is definitely better than Jennifer.
No, she's not.
Yeah.
How? How could you tell me that?
Especially after this year, after the minute scene she had in Asteroid
Look
City.
at this.
Oh
Look
my
at this.
gosh, is it a leadoff home run? Oh, what a catch!
Rojas.
What a catch!
Nice grab out there. All right, no,
this guy can play some ball.
All right,
Johan Rojas.
I want you to do this because you're a guy that likes to do some other things during the show.
Yeah.
Come up with a top 5 list right now, present day actresses, top 5, and you could give me yours. Give me yours, top 5. All right.
Okay, I'm gonna need some time.
You're Johnny Cinema. Okay.
Like right now,
Right
not
now.
previously
Correct.
other years. Right now,
Correct.
Okay.
John Jansen is our resident movie expert, so he claims to be on a daily ticket. All right. I do want to point this out just to let you know, ladies and gentlemen. It is the 4:00 hour here on The Gambler, which is the daily ticket. And it's brought to you by QC Kinetics. If you got joint pain in your knees, shoulders, hip, or back that won't go away, schedule your free consultation today.
I got all of that
at QC Kinetics. That's 215-999-3000. QC Kinetics, 215-999-3000. Dude, we could have probably got Hall of Fame seats for like $20. That's what irks
You want to
me.
go? Let's just go.
We're doing a live show, bro.
Nah, we can.
Hello?
Just go back to Coward. You had a great show today. I'm sure you'd want to give you more.
Gottlieb Friday. All right. So Cowherd is without his guy McIntyre. All right. So McIntyre is not doing the show for whatever reason. He's on vacation. God bless him. He's very, I will say this. You could say that, he's not a good host. His voice bothers you, whatever, but he knows what he's talking about. McIntyre is very in the details from college football, NFL, NBA. He knows the name of the players. He knows, the X's and O's, the strategy. I think Jason McIntyre, look, he's very good at what he does because he's polarizing. He puts out an opinion and gets people to react. And he does that on purpose. God bless him.
I don't have anything to say.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
He is not on the show today. All right. I have no idea who they got this guy in here filling in his position. But ultimately, I believe that if McIntyre was on the show, this would not have aired. It would not have seen the light of day. This is one of, and I don't know off the top of my head, what else could compare to this. But from a sports talk radio show, even worse, that it's on television, Colin Cowherd on our network, the show before us here, rolled this out today when he was discussing quarterbacks that can win the Super Bowl this year, and then rolled out a graphic, which, number one, they got wrong, whoever was in the graphics department, because Cowherd was making a case of 20 quarterbacks that can't. The graphic said can. Doesn't matter. Don't get caught up in that, because there was one name on this list that absolutely will not win a Super Bowl because he is dead. Rest in peace. Here's Cowherd earlier.
And then the third category is 20 guys who are not getting to a Super Bowl and certainly not winning it. And that's everybody else. From Baker Mayfield, Teddy Bridgewater, Dwayne Haskins, guys that are just not that it says can win Super Bowls. It's can't win Super Bowls. Okay. So 6 stars, 4 high-end starters, and 20 guys that can't win a Super Bowl.
All right. So he paused, and Jansen, you said, do you think he caught up? Do you think the alarms went off in his head? Like Dwayne Haskins, isn't that guy something wrong with him? He's not playing anymore. What's going on? No,
you're right.
He stumbled because he saw the graphic.
He saw can, not can't.
And that's what went on. That's why the light bulb went off. Now, number 2 is somebody who is in the world of sports talk radio or has connections and put out a tweet. And again, we don't know what's real and what's not. But Schwarber leading off 0-2 count and pops up to third base, foul territory. That's your premier leadoff hitter for the Phillies.
Okay, come on.
So somebody tweeted and said, I was told a long time ago that Cowherd does not do death in his shows. Meaning if somebody dies, he doesn't talk about it. He won't talk about it. Okay. Anniversaries, doesn't bring it up.
Does that make you think that he would forget? I don't think that means he would forget. Like, was that a way to defend him?
Yes.
He doesn't remember?
There's only so many hours in the day. And if you're not talking and you're focused on anything and everything else.
Okay, but he is the premier sports talk radio show host. And I'm sure that, he knows what happened to Dwayne Haskins. And it was an immediate reaction that everybody heard it and went, what?
Dude, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, this isn't from this year.
So, yeah, he had to have known.
From Baker Mayfield, Teddy Bridgewater, Dwayne Haskins, guys that are just not they're.
But that's the problem with somebody that just talks about sports is like Colin isn't
huge, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but it's just talking about sport, right? But it's not based on reality. Like Colin Cowherd just.
Do you think he cares that he's trending right now? That he got
he
that
doesn't.
wrong? No.
I will guarantee you, he thinks he didn't do anything wrong.
Well, I don't know.
I guarantee
you,
he thinks he didn't do anything wrong.
How could you say
because
that?
Because it was a point made not about Dwayne Haskins the person, but Dwayne Haskins the player, and I feel like he finds like he can separate.
But everybody out of the 20 names on the list, the 19 were still in the league, right?
No, Blake Bortles is not in the league.
What?
Those are all players who got drafted since whatever, and that he said could not win a Super Bowl. So he's going to say it wasn't that he can't win one now; it's that when he got drafted, and whenever he got drafted, and however long he played, he wasn't going to win a Super Bowl. He's going to justify it, but my thing is, leave the dead alone. Leave the dead alone, man. You don't have to mention Dwayne Haskins in that way.
Drafted since 2013. Ah, okay. Interesting. Interesting you put it that way, because it does hit a little bit different when you break it down like that.
Well, that's how he's going to think about it.
Yeah, Dwayne Haskins should not be on this list.
He just should not be on the list, though. It's not right. Again, to me, leave the dead alone. Let the dead rest in peace.
But he's talking about players that were drafted since 2013.
And the fact that he had to mention solely Baker Mayfield and Dwayne Haskins. You could have mentioned any other of the 20 quarterbacks on that list, and the two we had to mention were Baker Mayfield and Dwayne Haskins. You just don't have to mention them. Put them in there. You don't have to do any of that.
Yeah, I agree with you, but this does give him some light.
That's how he's going to justify it. Yes.
Yeah.
He's going to feel like he did nothing wrong. He was just mentioning a stat. Dwayne Haskins was part of the league. That's what his contributions to the league were, and it's separated from the player and the person.
Wow.
Which you can't do that, again, because Colin Cowherd's a sports talk host and largely not based in anything reality.
Yeah, we don't kill anybody in this program. Kill or be killed. Let's see here. All right. If we'll move on from that, because you know what, it does actually freak Howard up a little bit, but I agree with you that there's no reason why his name should be on the list.
Don't need to do that.
Nah, I agree. Like, come on, man. And I don't know, man, if you're going to be pulling up a list that has Blake Bortles on it. Like,
aren't we far enough removed from that? That was a decade ago.
He was drafted the same year that Lane Johnson was drafted in 2013. Good grief.
What a time to be alive. Blake Bortles.
What a terrible quarterback.
UCF.
Who went third?
I think so. Yeah, because UCF had an undefeated year, I think. Did they have an undefeated year? Yeah, that was the year that everybody was saying that they won the national championship.
He played Temple. He played Temple here at the Link.
Yeah. He was good in college.
Yeah, he was, but that's not the
terrible NFL.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Just to let you know, we are going to talk some NFL coming up on our next guest at 4:35 Moss Money. I do want to mix this in, and then we did hit it with Bill as far as preseason football against for the Philadelphia Eagles coming up this weekend, taking on the Ravens. We do have two other games that are going off on Thursday, and this is partly why why Cowherd was talking about this list in general. CJ Stroud, I'm very interested to see how he's going to pan out this season. Again, he's a rookie quarterback. The Texans just had some unfortunate news that made headlines from a co-owner, and 4 women are now accusing him of this. I think another girl came out right before the show. So it's like, man, they can't get out of their own way down there. But,
yeah, ownership is very bad in Houston.
It really is. And, when you look at what that team has been through, with the previous quarterback, but now you wipe the slate clean and you bring in a guy like DeMeco Ryans, who means business. I love DeMeco, and I do like the Texans. I think that DeMeco is going to have that defense improved. I think they're going to try and run the football a little bit more. Again, I'm not trying to make the case that they're going to win the division, but I'm really intrigued with how CJ Stroud is going to play the position this year as a rookie. Who has a better year, Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, in your opinion? If I made you pick one. Philly debatable.
That's tough because there's two ways of looking at it for me. I think CJ Stroud is more pro ready.
What's your gut say?
My gut says Bryce Young has the better year this year.
Okay.
Because he has the offensive coordinator, Frank Reich, but he has the offensive mind around him. They invested in their offense. They got Adam Thielen. They made some other trades. They invested in their offense and trying to get Bryce Young something. They got Miles Sanders. Not saying it's anything great, because you look at that offense and you go, that's pretty mid. It's average, below average. But still, it's something. CJ Stroud doesn't have that yet, has some talent around him, and I think the foundation is going to be better for CJ Stroud because they have a coach. Is that a home run? Who is that?
That is a home run.
Oh, boy. Oh, no.
Ruiz, home run, 1-0.
1-0 Washington. Yeah. It looks like a Washington game out there, by the way, with that crowd. Oh, that's not great.
Well, it's a game that they pulled out of nowhere and said we're going to play at 4:00 on a Tuesday.
I'm sorry, but
how many people do you expect there, dude?
You got to have a championship crowd for a championship team. Yeah, right. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Did you give me an answer for Stroud?
So I think Stroud's foundation is going to be better. So in the long run, I think he might work out more than Bryce Young.
Yes.
But for this season, it's probably going to be Young.
Did have a interesting.
I'd say probably. I got to say saying probably. I think he will be better than Young this year. Or Young will be better than Stroud.
I was last year the Texans were the league's worst run defense, which allowed
not good
170 yards per game. No team has ever allowed over 170 yards rushing since the 0-16 Detroit Lions in 2008, which I believe Orlovsky, everybody's favorite, was on that team.
Yeah.
The Texans also have finished 27th in points allowed per game 3 seasons in a row. In Ryan's first season with the 49ers, he allowed the 3rd fewest yards per game, and in 2022, San Francisco allowed the fewest points and yards per game. Ryan's unit also tied for the 2nd most takeaways with 30. So I think he comes in and has an immediate impact on defense. If CJ Stroud is half the player he was last year for Ohio State, much different ball game, I get it. If he's a competent quarterback, doesn't turn the football over, I do believe the Texans will be a much improved team.
I think they'll be improved with Stroud. I believe that. It's just his numbers aren't going to look as good as Young's. I think that would be the biggest difference. But I think with Stroud, Texans will be vastly improved. I love what D'Amico Ryans did. And, they're all in a different way with CJ Stroud and the team currently constructed with D'Amico Ryans.
Yep.
They went after Will Anderson. They traded back up into the first round and into the top 5, I think it was.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, I love that. I love that they're not kind of kicking the can down the road anymore. They're trying to invest. And I think that's just going to be better for them, in the next couple of years when Stroud hits his stride and D'Amico Ryans becomes a better coach and they're able to get better talents and spend money in free agency. So I think it'll be in the long run better for Stroud.
6.5. Could they get to 7 wins? It's at plus 110.
Ooh, that's tough. With the division, it could be close, but that's going to be tough. We do have some nice sports betting news, I guess, that just happened.
Tee it up.
So ESPN has entered an agreement with Penn Entertainment, which is I think the same sportsbook provider of Barstool Sportsbook, and ESPN is launching ESPN Bet. After Fox Bet, didn't they just shut down theirs? Fox Bet?
They did, and now they're Hard Rock.
So they moved to Hard Rock, okay. But yeah, ESPN's entering the sports betting game. It's just funny how after Fox shut it down, ESPN's like, sure.
I even laugh more that ESPN is joining forces essentially with Barstool.
That also is a little odd, yes. That's what I first thought, because I saw Penn Entertainment went, wait a second.
I got to dig a little bit deeper. This came out 6 minutes ago. So, initially, that's what's funny to me. Now, let's connect the dots a little bit more, and maybe there is something happening with Penn and Barstool, and they might go separate ways. I don't know if that's anything realistic or not. But I just, like ESPN is not dumb. They're not dumb. They know when they put pen to paper and come into an agreement with Penn Entertainment.
Dumb. They're following money, but that doesn't mean that they're going to correctly do it.
Yeah, but you can't get rid of shows and do this and say you're better than all things Barstool and then 5 years later join forces.
I don't think they're going to join. I think there's going to be 2 separate
absolutely,
entities,
but
sure.
They're still
but under
connected.
The same company.
Yeah, they're still
and
connected.
This is like essentially being WWE and UFC connected with Endeavor. They're exclusive. They're not going to do the same thing, and they're not going to promote each other. But Endeavor owns and pretty much operates both of them.
All right. Well, good pull by you. Glad you're paying attention to the show. Nice work.
Well, I think that was that's a big deal in the sports betting world. We're a sports betting show, I thought.
Oh yeah. I agree. Nice work by you.
Whoa.
What else do you have?
So there's actually an article to this. So I'm seeing part of it. In the fall of 2023, the existing Barstool Sportsbook will be rebranded across all online platforms in the United States as ESPN Bet. Whoa.
So they're gonna get rid of all the.
That means you would have to get rid of all the Barstool personalities off of that.
Correct.
Whoa.
However, you could still weave it in with guys like Big Cat and PFT. I think that they probably look back at that situation knowing that they got it wrong. And all because of, one or two personalities. That guy is no longer there. Skipper, right? I don't think he's there. I know he's not there anymore. So, that's interesting. Yeah, I think there will be a disconnect. But at the same time, I think you can get away with a few guys. You knew that, I thought there was some sort of contract that was coming Portnoy's way where he was going to ride off into the sunset or do his own thing.
So what happens to the Barstool branding? All of that. I mean, are they just out of the deal?
Penn owns it, so they can do whatever they want.
They can do whatever they want. I guess you're right. Yeah, they can do whatever they want.
There's got to be some sort of mix. I just don't see Penn saying sayonara to all things Barstool.
Well, I also don't think it's working out in the way they want it. I don't think Barstool. Well, first of all, Barstool Sportsbook was not great.
No,
and that's not like the Barstool brand. It's just how.
Look, you got to change.
How they set the odds.
You got to change. You got to change with the times. And if you get an opportunity to get invested with ESPN, who is the king of sports, tell me they're not. Who is? So you got to jump at that opportunity, and I have no issues whatsoever.
Do we have any qualms about a media company?
No,
ones that is based on almost journalism and reporting.
No,
okay.
No, everything's changing right before our eyes.
Because I think the last time that was brought up on a smaller scale was Shams being employed by FanDuel.
Correct. I think
that was it. That was one. Like, okay, is this a conflict?
I think ESPN Radio is on its way out. They're going to do nothing but podcasting. I think you're going to see, of course, the watch parties take over everything with the addition of Homeboy. What the hell is his name?
Homeboy. I don't know his name.
FanDuel. Come on, man. Cutlass shirt. Wrestling. The hell's his name? McAfee. Jeez.
Oh, how are you forgetting that? Oh, I thought it was somebody a little bit. Jeez. How did you not pull that one out of the hat?
I know. He's everywhere.
He's everywhere.
Yeah, him and Stephen A. So, yeah.
That big dome of yours, and you can't even come up with McAfee.
We'll see, man. Yeah. We'll see. I got a lot of sun on Sunday. I guess that's what
Did you?
Is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You were out at the pool.
Damn
Thanks for the invite.
All right, Daily Tickets debut coming up on the other side. We'll continue talking all things sports gambling with our next guest. Money Pot Podcast is the show that he hosts. It's Moss Money. He's going to join us on the other side. You can find
You're getting better at saying the name.
All things socials at Moss Money or a Money Pot Podcast. There you go. You jinxed me.
I did.
The Daily Taylor Roll, man. A lot to get to. Do not go anywhere. More after this.
Get ready to win your way to our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival and $1,000.
You'll be there.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas.
September 22nd and 23rd.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
The iHeartRadio Music Festival.
The Hartford Small Business Insurance knows that opening a small business is a great achievement. Thanks to all the owners for all they do to keep our communities vibrant and strong. Learn more about the Hartford Small Business Insurance and why over 1 million small business owners trust them. Visit thehartford.com/smallbusiness.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Heads up, a crash has it crawling southbound 95 Allegheny to the Walt Whitman. Only the left lane is getting by, and northbound 95 heavy from 452, the Commodore Barry, then backed up approaching the Betsy Roster Bridge. The Vine Expressway westbound Jan 95 to the Schuylkill, and eastbound backed up Broad to 95. Schuylkill westbound Jan approaching City to Belmont. Eastbound Jan 202 to Gulf Mills. Earlier accident cleared. Then heavy contract to Belmont and Montgomery Drive to South. Larry Tutela, total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Want to save big on custom faux wood blinds, shutters, cellular shades, and more? Shop Blindster today and save up to 50% over comparable blinds from brick and mortar stores. Get custom blinds at low prices and free shipping at Blindster.com.
Bachelor Happy Hour, the one and only official Bachelor Nation podcast, is back. Go behind the scenes with your hosts, Bachelor in Paradise Season 7 newlyweds, Joe Amabile and Serena Pitt, for real stories about what happens in Bachelor Mansion.
Here on Bachelor Happy Hour, we'll be putting all the guys in the hot seat. We'll have exclusive interviews. We'll be the first to talk to the men. We're going to bring the drama into the house and leave probably brokenhearted.
Listen to Bachelor Happy Hour on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Stay tuned to Fox PHL The Gambler for the latest CEOs you should know.
I'm Hassan Reddick, partial owner of R7. We are an energy drink company.
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
O'Reilly Auto Parts Loaner Tool Program offers more than 80 specialty tools. Refundable deposit required. Stop by O'Reilly today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey guys, this is Keenan Thompson. I have a problem with you. Yes, you. None of y'all told me that AutoTrader has millions of new and used cars that I can shop from home. I thought we were friends. I put smiles on your face, but I'm not smiling. No one told me that with AutoTrader, a dealer can deliver cars to my home or that I could shop by price on AutoTrader. No one. Consider this friendship that you just learned we had officially over. Finally, it's easy. AutoTrader.
Attention taxpayers, ready for some bad news? With $80 billion in new funding from Congress, the IRS has launched their most aggressive hiring campaign ever to ramp up enforcement. If you're ignoring your taxes, don't delay another minute because your paycheck, your bank account, even your home or business could already be at risk. Now, here's the good news. Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm, can get to work immediately, helping to protect you from the IRS. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, their tax attorneys and licensed professionals are experts at resolving tax problems. Let them help determine if you qualify for the Fresh Start Initiative or other powerful IRS tax assistance programs. Take control. Call Optima Tax Relief now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Happy 62nd birthday, Granddad.
Thanks, sweetheart.
I got you this.
A mug. Oh, thank you. What does it say? Beware. If you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of hospitalization from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Can we make 10,000 thread count sheets?
For Lens Linens, staying in the comfort zone is never an option.
Maximum thread count we could possibly thread.
An industrial seamstress would make their sweet dreams come true.
I want it to feel like you're on a snowflake, on cotton candy, on marshmallows, on a cloud.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No. Call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com. All right. So over the break, it has been announced that Dave Portnoy has bought Barstool back from Penn. So Barstool will go back to 100% under his tutelage, under his belt, and will operate in that world with Portnoy, because you still got to deal with regulators and all that. So God bless him.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like Portnoy's just kind of being, not Portnoy, Barstool is just kind of being discarded here.
Absolutely, they are. Absolutely.
Because it said Penn sold 100% of Barstool common stock to Dave Portnoy in exchange for certain non-compete and other restrictive covenants. Penn also has the right to receive 50% of the gross proceeds received by Dave Portnoy in any subsequent sale or other monetization event of Barstool.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
probably got him by the you-know-what.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, come on, man. He's got a couple of zeros in that bank account. So
he'll be fine.
They're all doing all
fine,
right. Yeah. It is interesting, though. If you're just joining us, the latest is ESPN is getting in the gambling world with teaming up with Penn, and there's some good folks over there at Penn, so that's pretty exciting. They'll be available in 16 states. It'll be ESPN Sportsbook. ESPN Sportsbook, I believe that's what we're going to call it. Or ESPN Bet, right? Isn't that what they're calling it?
ESPN Bet.
Yeah, interesting. All right, let's head out to the Gambler Hotline daily ticket debut, man. I'm excited. This gentleman has been all over my timeline. Should be yours as well. If you don't follow him, be sure to get on over to socials. Money Pot Podcast. That's the name of his podcast. Moss Money is his name, and he joins us right now on the Gambler Hotline. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm blessed, man. Appreciate you boys for having me on.
Absolutely. Give us some details, man. I want to fill us in on first of all, I always love to ask this question. Where were you born? Where were you raised?
Philly and Philly through, man.
Nice. All
I'm
right.
a Philly boy, always. So I was born in, shout out to West Philly.
West Philly?
Moved out. Yeah, moved out. Not too long ago, when I was a little bit older, moved out to Mount Airy, the suburbs of Philly, right?
Yep.
And now I'm out in Delco, representing Delco.
Hey, Delco, let's go!
Yeah,
Let's
I'm out
go.
in Delco nowadays, man. So I've been around the world and back again in terms of Philly. So we've been in West Philly. I was down in Southfield a little bit, Mount Airy, now I'm out in Delco, man. So we out here representing Delco. Got killed by that storm though.
Yeah,
Delco
it did, man.
got
It came through hard. Yeah.
Yeah, it came through real hard, man. I know the Delco field got crushed. My kid plays baseball there, so. But other than that, man, yeah, man. I'm here in Philly. Like you said, the podcast is Money Pot Podcast, also known as Money Pot Betting. And what we talk about is we try to teach new gamblers, recreational gamblers, or people who just think, quote unquote, they know how to gamble, on how to bet smart. We talk about, everybody thinks they're an expert in that, and we try to show people what the market is, because you get these guys out here, they talk about these whale plays, these big 3-4% plays, all this jargon, units, this and that, and dimes, and all this stuff that people talk about. And at the end of the day, people just want to know what the bet is. Tell me your winner. And that's what we talk about, and that's what we do. We try to break down and make it real easy, real simple for folks to listen to. We make it fun. We make it funny. You never seen a couple black guys talk about sports betting, right? It's always the
Sean and Johns.
Yeah,
Sean and Johns of the world.
Oh, I like it, man.
It's always the Pazans, talking about it. So we try to switch it up, man. Give something back to the people, man. I call myself, your friendly neighborhood capper. So, yeah, man, that's what we do. And you come over, you have a good time. Obviously, we're huge Eagles fans, right? You can't be from Philly and not Eagles fans. I don't know how there's Dallas fans around here from Philly, but there are. So, and that's what we talk about, and that's what we do, man. We try to break it down. Like you said, I was on your time line just spitting out stuff because I went on a run. I mean, proof is in the pudding.
What, you MLB? You do it all? What do you do? What's your specialty? Is it what's
Yeah.
happening right now?
So yeah, I do. I never played baseball in my life, but I'm good at betting it. So I'm doing MLB right now. We went on a really nice run for a whole month. I think I didn't lose for like 4 or 5 weeks, and it was like sweep after sweep after sweep. Now I talk about this on my show. When you get hot, you ride the wave and you keep pressing, but you're going to have your coolers. You're going to calm down. You're going to come back to earth.
Yep.
You ain't going to be the best gambler in the world, and you'll come back to earth and you'll lose that. And that's a good thing though, because right now I'm going through that, and where I've cooled down a lot, and I'm showing people like, hey, when you hit that high, this is how you bet through yourself through a cooler, because it's the only thing that's important is the next bet. So, I think it's good for me to be transparent.
Absolutely.
People see that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like they just don't want to see winners, right? It's just like the guy who lost a lot of weight. Like, I got here and I lost all this weight, right? But what was the journey? How'd you get there? So, I think and it's fun. You know what I mean? I think it's fun. It's not fun to lose money.
No. But it's fun to talk about sports gambling. It's a whole new layer to the world that we grew up in as far as being Philadelphia sports fans. Nobody does it like that.
And as we're seeing today, it's just going to continue to get bigger and crazier.
Yeah, as ESPN is now into the game. Yeah, it's
ridiculous because you can bet from your phone anywhere. Anytime.
Yep.
No, you're right about that.
It's just sick.
Well, we'll be definitely checking out the podcast, man, and definitely want to cook some stuff up here with you moving forward. So let's have some fun here. Let's go ahead and open things up. Let's just start with just an Eagles conversation, because today the big story of the day is Jalen Hurts is number 3 overall, but that's fine and good. I just look at what this NFC has to offer, and I'm really struggling finding who that second best team will be. Will it be the Niners? Are they a little overvalued this year? We'll find out how good that quarterback position really is for them. Can the Cowboys take a step back, or will they take a step forward? So a lot of people are talking about the Giants possibly being, in the conversation with Dable and what he's been able to do already in year one. Where do you stand? When I ask you who the second best team, I think we're all in agreement that the Eagles are number one NFC. Who do you have number two in the NFC heading into the season?
Yeah, I think you already said it's got to be the Niners. I mean, the betting line says it. They're at plus 400 right now for the most part across most sports books. It's got to be the Niners. I didn't even know Brock Purdy was back for a little bit there. I didn't even know he was like actually practicing and playing, and I think that's going to be the question mark. But I think the line is already built in because Shanahan's offense is so QB friendly. We've seen him plug and play guys in there, and it just kind of works. So, and then they found a guy last year that it really worked for, right? And that roster, you could argue, is, might be the best roster in the league on paper, So I think the Niners is pretty clear cut that the Niners, because even without Purdy, I think they'll be legit and decent. Like that defense is stacked, that offense is stacked. They got stars everywhere, so they'll make it work. But the question I always ask myself when you talk about these teams and conferences is the first thing I talk about is that quarterback and head coach relationship. And I just don't know about Shanahan in big games. He's been small, in a lot of big games. So that's the question you have to ask yourself. But long story short, it's got to be the Niners.
Yeah, and look, that defense is for real, and but the main part with their success is definitely been with Shanahan and that quarterback connection. So whether he can get that going with Sam Darnold or Trey Lance, or if it is Brock Purdy, I don't think they'll take a huge step back if Brock Purdy can be that guy that he was last year. He's not going to be obviously as good as he was last season as far as wins and losses are concerned, but I still think I would have to agree with you that they are the second best team. It's just, I don't know, something has hit me. It's one of those things where, look, I really can't come up with the exact formula, but it's just something about like, there's always going to be a team that you think is that good and they won't be. And I'm getting that vibe about the 49ers, but I can't pull the trigger on taking an under because just look what he's done with these quarterbacks, these direct quarterbacks year in and year out. Dude's really good at calling plays on the offense.
Yeah, I completely agree. And then you look at the schedule too, right?
Yep,
that
soft. Too. Yep.
Where does it get tough? Where's that kind of stretch where they got like 4 or 5 games tough? And if you look at this schedule, it's kind of soft in the beginning, right? They got the Steelers, the Rams, the Giants, the Cardinals. They can be out the gate and easily be 4-0. Then they got the Cowboys. I'm really not worried about that game. I think they should match up. It's at home too. And then away for the Browns and the Vikings. These are all for them. They should be favored in almost every game this year, just like us.
Yeah.
The only game they won't be favored in is probably against us because it's in Philly. So, I mean, I don't see a bad stretch for them. 12 them winning 12 games is not out the question.
All right, sticking with that number 12 because the Eagles on DraftKings Sportsbook 11.5. Last year, John Jansen 14-3 for the Philadelphia Eagles last year.
Well done.
Yeah, over that number, of course. Moss, the question I would have for you is, we just talked about strength of schedule. To me, this Eagles schedule is extremely difficult, and it should be, right? You win the division, you get to the Super Bowl, your team, this should be a much improved schedule as far as opponents are concerned for this upcoming season. They have a tough stretch where they go, let me pick it up, because I think it's the Dolphins, right? And then they got Commanders, Cowboys. Okay, that's what it is. It's the bye week there. It goes Cowboys at home, Chiefs on the road, Bills at home, Niners at home, Cowboys on the road, and then Seahawks in Seattle and the Giants. Look, that's going to make or break them. We know that. But where do you stand as far as 11.5 is concerned for the Eagles this upcoming season, win-loss?
So the Eagles are typically a public team. And when I say public team, for those who don't know, it means that the public usually bets on them. They're a heavily public team. So you have two kind of concepts. You have your regular recreational bettor, and then you have what you have like your professionals, or they call it sharps, or even syndicate groups, with groups of people who have a lot of money put big bets and they can change the line. So the Eagles are typically what you would consider a public team. So that line is shifted. That line used to be plus money. It used to be like plus 110, plus 120. And then now it's minus 115, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yep.
for those who don't know what that is, from a line perspective, every bet in Vegas where it all started is a $100 bet. So when you see that plus money, that means if you see plus 110, that means for every $100 you bet, you're going to get back 110. And the other side is that if you see minus 115 or minus 110, that means it costs you $110 to win $100. So we call that in our show the tax, right? You got to pay the tax to get the line. So
Damn
for the
right.
Eagles, it is a little bit of a tax, minus 115. I think because of the schedule, it's not higher. And then the Cowboys are talented. Like, I'm a Eagles fan, die, and I by far hate the Cowboys, right? And who you remember? Did you guys see that guy who came to the Eagles open practice? And
Yes,
like,
I
what
did.
was that guy doing?
Ridiculous.
Like, what an idiot!
Yeah.
Like, why would you took the time to come to our practice to wear Cowboys intro? Like, come on.
People love that attention, man. It's like a drug.
Yeah. So, but the Cowboys are a talented team, on the roster and on paper. So, most people, when they bet these type of bets, is that this is for my bet small, win big folks, right? People want to bet small and win big. And the thing I warn people about betting, I do like the Eagles, to answer your question, to win the division. I do like the line where it sits. But the question is, what's your bankroll? How much are you actually going to put on that? Are you only going to put $100? You're going to wait all year to win 100? I think you can find some more value on that than just to bet that. So you can do a little bit of a parlay, put a couple teams together in the conference, in the NFC conference, and see if we can cook something up that might be a little bit more enticing. Because nobody wants to bet $100 and then wait a whole year for $100. It ain't worth it.
Well said.
And I think one of the more interesting divisions, and there's some interesting ways to look at it, whether it's division bet for division winner or win totals. The NFC North, Detroit's at the top, and we're hearing it's kind of stunning to hear all the great things being heard about Jared Goff in his training camp so far. Apparently he is crushing it so far and he looks great this year, but Jordan Love, I've seen good things from. We obviously know Kirk Cousins and the Vikings have a certain floor that's pretty good, and Chicago is the wild card with Justin Fields. Anything with the NFC North in terms of win totals or a division winner that interests you?
Yeah, I did a show on this. I've been doing shows on, if you guys, like I said, you already dropped it on YouTube, on Money Pop betting. I actually don't mind the dark horse in the Chicago Bears.
Ooh.
I don't think Detroit is going to be as good as what people think, right? So they lost both their running backs. Now, I know you get Gibbs, but do we feel that Gibbs is going to give you, a 900-yard rusher from behind the line? I don't know. And I personally, I don't think so, right? That offense took kind of a step back, right? Because Jameson, is it Jameson? Who's the receiver?
Yeah, Jameson Williams. Yep.
Yeah, Jameson Williams. Yeah, so Jameson Williams is going to be out for the first 6 games. You lose both of your running backs. Now, they did get Montgomery, so he is a decent running back, but he's a lot different than Swift. He's a lot different than what's the other guy's name? The running back who had like 18 touchdowns last year.
Jamal Williams.
There you go. Yeah.
Williams. I'm sorry. Yeah. So he's a little bit different than them. So, I mean, you have Marvin Jones, I think Amon St. Brown. And then you got to look at Jared Goff and is he really going to be that guy? Like, I don't know. He had a career year last year and then think that he's going to back it up again. I mean, there's a reason why he didn't get a contract. Right. To me, there's a reason that, they're going to go with him on the same contract. So I don't know if they really believe in Jared Goff as much as they say they do. Everybody's good in camp. We got our camp stat guys out here doing big stuff, making sure that we all know that Jalen Hurts threw an interception today, if I'm not mistaken. And then I don't trust Jordan Love. I think we've seen some of that. I think Green Bay is going to take a huge step back. Minnesota's always good, but we just talked about Jalen Hurts being the 3rd best player. They put, JJ, Justin Jefferson as the 2nd best player, which I mean, granted, he's a monster, but, can he do it all by himself? Because they have no run game and they have him, and that's it.
Yeah.
Right? So when you look at that division, I think that division is a little bit more open than what people think. Now, I get it. It's Justin Fields. I get that they're a long shot for sure. But, if he can be average, like just average with that defense, I think they can make some noise. Not saying that they're going to win it, but I think it's worth the bet. They're 4-1 right now to win that. They got DJ Moore. They got Mooney. I mean, I'm questionable about, Claypool because we've seen some of his dress, his fashion statements. But, that defense is for real. And don't nobody want to play in Soldier Field in the cold when it's late.
Yep.
So, I'm going on a limb here, but give me Chicago to win that division in a shocker.
Yeah, and I think what helps is Justin Fields. You can get average quarterback play out of him, but there's a chance that, in his third year now, he takes the leap to be above average and, make that top 10. Like we've been kind of begging for Justin Fields to break out and do that. So
And the fact
I think it is a year that, what's that?
I mean, and the fact that he can still bring to the table.
Oh,
even
yeah,
with his
absolutely.
legs, it's absurd.
It's just the jump forward in that third year should, I think, be enticing for the price that they're at.
Moss, let's go ahead and close up shop on this one, man. Fantastic hit. Can't thank you enough for popping up on here. Definitely will do it again, my friend. But preseason game 1, and I'm only asking you, Moss, because of what we know about the Baltimore Ravens. 23 straight up heading in to this weekend's game, and then next thing you know, they're opening up with the Eagles, and I'm like, There's also some metrics out there that some trends that are talking about going in the last 6-7 years when you see a team with a higher point spread of 6 or more, it's in the favor. Most games are really settled in preseason 3 or 4. You hardly see blowouts, so on and so forth. Again, I don't get too caught up in trends, but this is hysterical because 23 straight, something's got to give here. I'm taking the Eagles +6. Is there anything for you preseason? Is there anything there for you preseason game 1, Birds and Ravens?
Nah, bro. I don't. You going to sit on the limb on that one, bro.
Yeah.
I do not bet preseason at all. But I love the take though, because that is very true. They haven't they've covered in 23 straight games. I do remember that. If it was me betting it, I would probably be on the other side.
All right.
I would probably take the Ravens because there's no way any Eagles starter plays in this game.
You're
no way.
Very true on that one. That is facts on that one. Yeah.
There's no way. Now the team is deep though, right? The team is deep, but the word we got from Mariota,
that's not been good. Yeah.
Yeah, like he is horrendous. So I do like our defense, right? Because you're thinking about the Barnetts. I'm sure Jalen Carter is going to play a little bit here. Milton Williams. We'll probably see a lot of Nolan Smith. The new linebackers like Miles Jack. So like defensively, there should be some guys out there because we're so deep in terms of the position. But offensively, Hurts is not playing. Swift, Brown, Smith. Quez might get some tick.
Yeah, he's got to get that bad thought out of his mouth from Super Bowl.
Yeah, I would think Cam Jurgen plays, right, just to get him some reps, from a right guard position, getting the calls and things like that. He might even switch during the game to center too, right, just in case. But, Dickerson's not playing. Kelsey's not playing. Mailata's not playing. Lane might play. They might dress, but they're definitely not playing. So, if I'm betting this, I'm on the other side, bro. A little head-to-head action.
I like it.
I'm going Ravens.
Well,
I'm going Ravens.
What we'll do is we'll catch up next week and we'll compare and contrast to see who came out on top over the weekend. But again, I don't mess with preseason football. I promise you I don't. I just have to on this one because it's our teams. And, it's just something to discuss. So we'll see how this one plays out. But no matter what, man, football season fast approaching. Moss Money, man. We'll continue to check you out on all things socials at Money Pot Podcast. We'll check out the podcast itself. I just started subscribing to you over there on YouTube, my friend. Can't thank you enough for popping up on here, and we'll definitely catch up next week. Keep it going.
Yes, sir. Sounds good, man. Appreciate
awesome. Very cool. Great stuff there. Once again, Moss Money. John Jansen, thumbs up across the board, right?
Yeah, thumbs up. Not from your bet, but yes, thumbs up
Oh.
across the board.
No, I'm talking specifically about him.
Oh, absolutely.
You're very good. Yeah.
Yeah,
very
the
good.
Chicago one's interesting because I'm all over the place with the NFC North because I'm starting to buy into the things I'm hearing about Jordan Love. I'm buying into Jared Goff.
What did Jordan Love looked pretty decent last year, and
He
now
did.
what?
But that's part of it, right? Because he did when he came in
you got
against
Adam
Louisville.
Shine saying he can't play the quarterback position. Now you're going to say, "Oh, I'm starting to buy into what they're saying." Come on, trust your eyes. He looked good at his opportunity.
Jordan Love is actually being talked about in a positive way. I didn't see what Adam Shine said. But for most things I've seen from Packers camp is this guy can play a little bit.
Of course he
can.
can.
This guy, he's been obviously in that system for 4 years now. He's been in that organization. He knows Matt LaFleur's offense. So it's not like there has to be a transition of, oh, how do I figure this out? He knows everything. He just has to go out and ball. And from what it looks like, his talent does kind of take over a lot.
Plus, he has
So I was buying into more of Jordan Love than buying into any detractor.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
I don't think it's all that hot. Top 5 playmaker Christian Watson after it's all said and done this year.
Top 5 playmaker.
Yep.
I don't know if it's a hot take.
Burner, a guy that's going to throw up crazy numbers.
But yeah, his
maybe not
breakout
catches,
speed.
maybe not catches, but a guy that will give you 4 or 5 catches and a $140 with 2 touchdowns. We're going to see multiple games like that.
Well, yeah, I don't know because I'm sure there are futures out there. You could find what the longest reception of the season is going to be for Green Bay or even specifically for Christian Watson. I know those bets are available somewhere. I don't know where you can find those, but I would go the over on whatever number Christian Watson has or Green Bay wide receiver.
Maybe ESPN bet. I don't know. Maybe they got it.
Maybe they got it.
Fantastic stuff.
What an odd ordeal that ESPN bet thing is, man.
Moss Money, once again, you can find him at Money Pop Podcast. All right, yeah, to the breaking news that is all over the timeline, and it's great. It's great, no matter what. It's like Lionel Messi coming to the MLS, and you're playing tonight. If they win tonight, they're taking on the Mexican team that I cannot pronounce their name. It starts with a Q. They just beat New England Revolution last night, and if they win that game and Messi wins their next game, then we'll meet up. Long way to go until that point in time. However, the news that I'm talking about here, Barstool, who was owned by Penn, they were in it together, in cahoots together, decided to go their own separate way. Now, there's definitely some details
that's one way of putting it.
That definitely will see the light of day. But if you ask anybody from Barstool, this was their choice, and they're doing things their own way, and it's a content world.
That's great. Penn said, "Oh, we can get ESPN. See you, Barstool. Have a good time there, Dave. It was nice working with you. You're out."
Didn't they? I think both accomplished what they were looking for.
Yeah, I think right.
And I'm
Penn,
sure
Penn upgraded and Barstool can do their own thing.
And I'm sure
which I'm not gonna.
I'm sure Portnoy will make money on this ESPN deal with Penn. Your computer froze up. Oh, you should see how it froze up too. This is
my computer did freeze up a little.
Look
bit.
at you. Do you see the picture?
I don't want to. No, I don't see the picture.
Oh, that's great.
I got it's loading up.
That's great.
Okay.
Here, let me show you the picture.
No, please don't.
Go on. That's what it's logged on right now. It's locked. That's great. Two Jansen staring up. Anyways, yeah, I'm sure Portnoy's making some money, and that's all that matters, right? I mean, these dudes are just so rich. Anyways,
something went wrong on
went
stream
wrong.
here. Yeah,
I'm solo now. Some say the show's better when that's the case.
Yeah, right. Are you kidding me? I was the one who said my questions were good, my transitions were good, my segs were good.
Yeah, but you don't have to do anything. You ask one.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I don't do anything.
And
yeah, I ask the best questions. You're just out there throwing stuff against the wall.
I mean, it's worked for me this long in my life. I'll continue to do it till I die. All right, 5 o'clock hour coming up on the other side. Let me pull up my notes here because I did come up with some things that I do want to discuss.
I also have that top 5 list ready to go.
Oh, top 5 female actresses. Female actresses, you don't have to say that, right?
Because actresses is implying.
Thank
female.
you. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's what you're here for. Top 5 actresses present day from John Jansen. I am seeing Barbie at 6:35. Me and the wife. Margot Robbie, apparently to Jansen, is the #1 actress right now. I don't want to say I disagree. I just think Jennifer Lawrence is probably higher for me. And I still think there probably are 2 or 3 that I'm not even thinking of at this point in time. So we will get Jansen's top 5 list on the other side. I still have this Yogi Roth post that I have to read. If you're a football fan, a college football fan, you have to hear this. Trust me, it'll be well worth your time. Also, the Commanders players are complaining about Eric Bieniemy. We'll get into that a little bit. And rest in peace to one of the best festivals in America. And it just all fell apart this year. And it's been going downhill for a few years now. So we'll talk a little about that. And I'll give you the highlight that I remember specifically from this festival right here in Philadelphia. It's the 5 o'clock hour on the other side. Daily Ticket. Back after this.
Goodbye, Jeep Summer of Savings. Hello. Gary Barbera's countdown to kickoff. If you miss this one, you're walking. Right, Birds Coach Nick?
Hey, this is Coach Sirianni. Is Barbera the best? Boy, I guess.
Follow that bear. Because right now, new Barbera Jeeps are a flat 15% off.
Philadelphia's Credit Connection.
Brand spanking new.
Jeeps cheap.
15% off the sticker. Hey, what about Nick's pick?
Boy, I guess.
A nearly new, barely broken in Jeep Grand Cherokee.
I'm not kidding.
$15,990.
Get your butt to Barbera.
For your choice, 15% off brand new Jeep. Previously enjoyed Jeep Grand Cherokee. $15,990 during Gary Barbera's countdown to kickoff. Right, Coach Nick?
Is Barbera the best? Boy, I guess.
Supplies last. 15% off select inventory. Plus tax tags, $449. Pre-owned starting at $15,990. See GaryBarbera.com for details.
Barbera! 15% off new.
Jeeps cheap.
Pre-owned Grand Cherokee. $15,990.
Every day, you breathe in thousands of tiny little germs, allergens, and viruses. Don't let these invisible invaders make breathing through your nose impossible. Flush them out with Navage. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, helping flush out everything that makes you miserable. Nearly 4 million people use Navage to breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. People like Dan, a verified Navage user who writes, I've had trouble with my sinuses for decades. I always thought something like this was a gimmick, but one use and I'm hooked. I should have bought this a long time ago. The results are immediate and incredible, unquote. If you suffer from sinus congestion, allergies, or snoring, then Navage is the safe, drug-free solution you've been looking for. Navage is at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
In this week's Marketers Report, Chris Brandt, Chief Marketing Officer at Chipotle Mexican Grill, weighs in on the power of audio, specifically audio influencers.
Audio has been a key component for us. Our consumer is omni-channel, so we need to be omni-channel. We've used audio to reinforce what we're showing on TV, what we're showing in other digital channels. When your priority is driving reach, boy, everybody seems to listen to the radio. I think using the audio influencers has been a huge component for us. Working with iHeart, we were able to really tease out the audio influencers in key markets that were authentic Chipotle fans. And because it's authentic and because they're seen as trusted friends by the customers and the listeners, it's really been an effective strategy.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to all, from national to local, every audience, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. Not just a media company, iHeartMedia is your access company. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
The NFL is back, and your free iHeartRadio app is your home for the NFL Podcast Network with full coverage of all 32 NFL teams. Get in-depth analysis from the pros on around the NFL. Win bragging rights in this year's draft with tips from the NFL Fantasy Football Podcast and more. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
This week at Macy's, it's the perfect time to save on everything they need for back to school, like 30% off classic jeans and more from Levi's. And save 15 to 50% off updates for Every Space Now during our big home sale. And save 35 to 70% off select fine jewelry. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members can earn rewards even faster during Star Money bonus days. See Macy's.com/Star Rewards. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
The fresh scent of Irish Spring and those sensational Irish Spring suds are just the reset you need to own the day. Irish Spring. When the spring hits you, you're ready. Pick up Irish Spring at your local retailer today.
Clouds will move on out here this evening, and it'll be a clear night and very comfortable as well with that westerly wind bringing in that drier air. Low temperatures in the 60s. And a beautiful Wednesday. It's still a breezy day. Winds out of the west 10 to 20 miles an hour. Sunshine, just a few clouds. Humidity still stays on the low side with a seasonable high of 88. I'm meteorologist Adam Joseph with your 6ABC forecast.
This report is sponsored by Pearl's California-grown black ripe olives.
Martha Quinn here. It's time to rock Pearl's 100% California-grown black ripe olives. Now better than ever. Pearl's black ripe olives have nothing added but sea salt and water. No artificial colors or preservatives. For quality you can trust, look for the sunny yellow can at your local Giant Foods.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival is coming back to T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas this September.
Superstar artists from every genre.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
Buy tickets now at AXS.com.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
We're still recovering from an earlier crash on 95 southbound, jammed now from Allegheny all the way down to the Girard Point Bridge and heavy across the bridge heading toward Delaware County. North of 95, heavy 452, the Commodore Barry and Betsy-Roster Bridge. This on the Vine Expressway both ways, Schuylkill to 95, Schuylkill eastbound. Delays 202 to Gulf Mills, Blue Route to Belmont, Montgomery Drive to South, westbound Jansen City to Belmont, Blue Route southbound stop and go approaching Broomall to Media Swarthmore, 42 northbound Jan 55 to 130. All right, to tell total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer.
Warning, if you are 60 or older, RSV can be a dangerous respiratory virus.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. This message is brought to you by Pfizer.
From tee to green, the best place to get in on all the action happening on the links is DraftKings Sportsbook. This week, new customers will receive an odds boost to add plus 1,000 to any pre-tournament wager, up to $10 on any golfer to win. So, for example, if you're a new customer and you see a golfer to win this weekend's tournament at plus 1,000 odds, DraftKings will boost that golfer to plus 2,000 odds for your shot at a bigger payout. DraftKings will be featuring parlays and odds boosts all tournament long. So be sure to check the DraftKings Sportsbook app every day before the tournament starts to see what they have in store. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code DING and boost your odds during this weekend's tournament. That's code DING, only on DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, Pennsylvania only. Odds boost token expires 7 days after issuance. Minimum $5 deposit. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/golf terms. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your favorite artists are coming to town soon. Don't miss
Pod Meets World, the Boy Meets World podcast live Saturday, September 30th, the Met Philly. My Morning Jacket, Friday, October 27th and October 28th, the Met Philly. Mount Joy, August 12th and 13th, the Skyline Stage at the Man. August 12th is sold out, but tickets still remain for the 13th. The All-American Rejects, August 17th, the Skyline Stage at the Man. Jimmy Eat World and Manchester Orchestra, Saturday, August 26th, the Skyline Stage at the Man.
Tickets for these shows and more are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Reggie was a nurse for 16 years.
I had become very burnt out. I wasn't making good money.
Then it happened.
There was an ad for My Computer Career, and it just spoke to me.
My Computer Career was the best decision he ever made.
I could study anywhere from my laptop, and I was working in the first couple weeks of me being in class.
Reggie hit a home run.
The field is teeming with jobs.
Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
The school is amazing.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail. The ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way, offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional-grade products. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Your home for Villanova basketball is WDAS and WD273D. Fox Sports Radio Philadelphia.
Wow, what a grab. The Phillies are playing too, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to the Daily Ticket, Fox Sports The Gambler. Sean Brace, John Jansen with you here. At 5:30, you'll hear our good friend Bill Colarulo from Legal Hands to the Face talking all things Philadelphia Eagles. They don't make them like they used to, John Jansen. True story. Travis Scott is coming to the Wells Fargo Center in October. I want to go, but I can't hang. I would stick out like a sore thumb at that place. And it has nothing to do with anybody's color of their skin. Like the way kids are these days and the way I am, I'm an old man. I would stick
I can
out
tell that.
Like a sore thumb. Hey, kids, what's the Steve Buscemi meme? What movie is that from?
How do you do, kids?
How do you do, kids? What's that? I don't even know.
I don't know.
It's an Adam Sandler movie. Steve Buscemi, great. Anyways, I was just saying, yeah. They don't make them like they used to, John
Don't
Jansen.
shuffle at third base when you hit a home run. Kids.
Yes. No, keep it
no
moving.
more home run shuffle, kids.
Speaking of that, the Phillies were down 3-0. And then during the commercial break, everybody's favorite leadoff hitter, Kyle Schwarber, went yard, 2-run blast, and then followed up with an Alec Boehm bomb. Back-to-back, belly-to-belly.
Yeah, Schwarber and Boehm turning into a pretty good duo at the top. They've been pretty good lately. Boehm, especially at second, that's been quite the revelation for the Phils. He's been able to drive in runs, get on base, hit home runs the way that he has. But I think he picks up sometimes where Kyle Schwarber doesn't. But again, why you want Kyle Schwarber at the top is because what just happened in this past inning.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. For the time being. And again, as long as this team's winning, I got no problems.
Yeah.
No
winning.
problems.
And if Boehm and Schwarber are going to be productive in those two spots, just keep them there. I don't care if Turner turns the corner. Just keep him there if it's working. And you can move Turner up. You want to move him up to 5 or 6 or whatever, wherever you want to put him. But at the moment, I love that 1-2 punch.
All right. We've been having some fun here, messing around. Of course, giving you all the latest that's happening in the world of baseball because it is a jam-packed day. 2 for the Fighting Phils. They were a minus 360. Was that what as high as it got? Minus 360.
Minus 360, yeah.
Minus 360 favor with Zach Wheeler on the mound. It's a 3-3.
2.5 run line, which you don't see often.
Yeah, 3-3 ball game right now. Phillies are currently a minus 245 live favorite here on DraftKings Sportsbook. And again, they're going to play 2 down there. Can you sit through 6 hours of Phillies baseball tonight?
I like this.
Minus 198 for Ranger Suarez. Josiah Gray on the mound for the Nats. That is a total of 9. First pitch scheduled for 7:10. I would imagine that they'll probably give him 45 minutes between games, something like that.
Anyway, yeah, it's not going to be very long.
No, it won't be.
Yeah.
Any other games that are on your attention? Anything from the MLB side? Again, last night the big target, the big game that stood out to most for us is the wild card matchup between the Marlins and the Reds. Tonight, you got Garrett versus Weaver. Miami on the road, and they're favored by minus 148 here. 10's your total on DraftKings Sportsbook. That game is scheduled to start at 6:40 p.m. Anything for you in the MLB card this evening?
No, not really. That game's a little bit interesting because, Weaver's had not been pitching well, and it's actually starting to catch up with them because they were still winning a lot of games that he was pitching. But the thing is with the Marlins, that's always kind of tough with these games, is just because Weaver's been bad doesn't mean that the Marlins are going to necessarily hit Weaver. Marlins lineup just isn't good right now. And so Weaver might be able to, scratch and claw together a few decent innings, enough to keep the Reds offense in that game. And if they're in that game, the plus 124 doesn't look too bad for a home team that mashes. And Braxton Garrett, he's good, but Braxton Garrett has to go up against a lineup that's kind of mashing the way Cincinnati is. So I think the plus 124 is intriguing. I don't know if I love it though, because Weaver, it's really starting to catch up to Weaver, the amount of bad games he's put together here.
All right. That is the MLB.
And also Josiah Gray plus 164 for the Nats in game 2. There's got to be some interest in that. Some.
All right. I do want to mix this in because yesterday the big item that was on everybody's timeline was the Baltimore Orioles announcer that ended up getting suspended. Although the update that I put out last night was that the Baltimore Orioles are on record saying that there was never any suspension. So this is crazy. And again, if you didn't press play on it, I'm not even going to waste your time. He didn't do anything wrong. He just pointed out and simply read a graphic on a pregame show that led up to the Tampa Bay Rays hosting
He did nothing
the
wrong,
Baltimore Orioles. And that was one of the worst teams in baseball for the last decade, if not longer. And the Rays have been dominating the Orioles, and especially inside the Trop. So I think the graphic's name was Trop-Depression. And then there was 2 negative stats about the history between these two teams as of late, and then a good one that said, hey, I think they took 3 of 5 or 4 or 5, whatever it was this year versus the Rays. And then it followed up with a negative one. So I thought, like, okay, if I had to be a producer on the show, I would have said, hey, I think you're beating a dead horse by coming back to the bad. You could end it with the good, go 1-2 with the bad. I just thought that the final
Also, you don't
one,
need to editorialize that much. It was mostly a positive, hey, the Orioles haven't been beating them. Now they sort of are. And can they finally, it's the story of the game.
Yeah.
Can they put the nail in the coffin of they can't win in Tropicana
pregame
Field?
show. Pregame shows are filled with what? Lineups and stats and information.
Well, setting up the story of the game. What's the big story for the Phillies? It's a doubleheader, a chance to win a series against Washington. You have your best pitcher in the mound, Zach Wheeler, starting off. It's all about the stories of the game. And
by the way,
just telling a story.
Bryce Harper saying that he wished he began his career here in Philadelphia. Now that is something I would tee up.
That's true. Oh, you can just see all
that
oh my gosh.
statement by Harper. Are you kidding me? Dude, Bryce Harper. I mean, what? What else can he do?
He's made the Philadelphia pandering look so easy.
It's not pandering, though. It's realistic.
It's pandering.
This isn't pandering. What he said was real.
It's pandering.
It's factual.
But it's
DC. They get like 1,800 people per game down there. Philly, we're ready. We're rocking. Preseason, All-Star break doesn't matter. Dog days of summer. This place is jammed.
But it was a great quote, and of course, it's going to get him just some more cachet with the fans.
I think he's telling you how it is. He wished he began his career here in Philadelphia.
I'm sure he loves it here in Philly, but
Well, anyways, that would have been definitely.
It's a great quote. It's an amazing quote.
God,
it's amazing.
Put it on a loop. If it happened on our radio station, I'd have it for you, but it didn't happen on another one, so it could just sit there, pretend we never talked about it. Anyways, it was really good, though.
Okay.
So this guy, Kevin Brown, not the former Major League Baseball pitcher, but he is a young whippersnapper. He looks young to me. Everyone does these days. And apparently he's a big deal because a lot of people have hosted stuff with him, and he's been completely professional. He looks like he's a top-notch professional. And he did nothing wrong. But
zero.
There's some history there with the Angeloses. I believe that's their names, the owners. And yeah, the Orioles owned by Peter Angelos have been among the worst teams in baseball from 2018 to 2021.
Yeah, he's a terrible owner.
They got rid of John Miller. There were some other things that popped up. He actually took a shot at somebody because they didn't live up to what they were going to donate, and they were meeting on Martin Luther King Day, and there was like a back and forth. I was reading some blogs because I still think there has to be something else to this story other than this is what he said, and ownership didn't like it. Therefore, he's got to be suspended. Therefore, we're not going to put him on a schedule because he's going to learn. I just refuse to believe that that's all there is. Sorry. That's just my take.
I actually don't. With what we've heard previously about Orioles ownership and the way things are run there, it doesn't surprise me.
Sad.
It wouldn't surprise me if that was it.
Really sad that people can be like that. And I know that
I imagine the owner, whoever it was, in this position of power, is watching the broadcast. So, why are they talking about this? This is ridiculous. Takes him off the air, and the rightfully backlash to it is making them look silly.
I don't know if I go back if I'm Kevin Brown.
Oh, right. I'm with you. I would have a lot of. Okay, this isn't really a great position. Now, obviously, it's one of 30 Major League Baseball teams. So there aren't a lot available.
Understood.
But if there's something there that, something enticing elsewhere, I maybe wouldn't even think twice about it.
A lot of people were coming to his,
I love it. Benetti did it.
Yeah.
A guy on I'm forgetting his name, but the guy on the Mets broadcast.
Gary Cohn.
Yeah. He was backing him. Michael Kay, I think, even said something as well.
Did.
Yeah, they all did. So that was great to see.
Think he wants a job at the Gambler?
Hey, I'd take him. Come on down. Baltimore's not too far away.
All right. Let's see. It is 5:20 here, and that was some crazy stuff. I still believe that we'll find out more and hear more.
We
You
will.
know, but again, bottom line is hopefully he does get his gig back and says, you know what, I want to go back in there. All right, let me hit this because I just dropped it. I think I hit the button by accident.
Wow.
All right. So a good friend of the program, his name is Yogi Roth, and his star has never been brighter year in, year out.
My star's never been dimmer.
I want to go that far. So Yogi is Mr. Pac-12. Of course, we get no connection in his frickin' studio. I don't know why. There we go.
Doing great.
So he is Mr. Pac-12, and he's delivered a ton over the years, covering all things Pac-12, and he's on that network, and the network was removed from TV, and he's still doing it. And I hear him all the time on the national radio, television hits. Dude grew up in northeastern Pennsylvania, played out Pitt, and then was at USC during the glory years with Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush. I don't think he was the offensive coordinator, but he was like on the offensive staff, whatever, with Pete Carroll. And he stayed out there and just represented the Pac-12 in such a way that, they should be very lucky. They're lucky that they've had Yogi. Anyway, so he matter of fact, last week I heard him on college football radio, whatever it is, on Sirius, and he was being pressed, and you could hear it in his voice where he was like, guys, I don't know where you're hearing this, but the people I talk to, they're telling me that this is going to be this. And I don't know. I kind of felt like Yogi definitely had his back up against the wall. And I'm like, yet I don't really get the rosy type picture that he was trying to paint. I understand it from his perspective, and maybe he 100% felt that way. I don't know, but I just didn't believe that the Pac-12 was going to stay together. And it didn't. And now it's down to the Pac-4, and who knows what the future is. So he went to Twitter and he took this and he wrote this post. And he said, the first thing I think about is the people. Amid all of the dialogue, something never mentioned was the people who compete every day on behalf of this league, behind the scenes, production trucks, on the air. The group of people at the Pac-12 network have left it all in the grass, and we will continue to do that for this upcoming season because that's what professionals do. We will celebrate the game, coach the viewer, and compete to give the sport of football what it deserves. If you ever find your way to Venice Beach in my home, you'll notice that I have a ball that sits on my desk. I toss it up in the air while studying film and play catch with our two sons when they sneak into the office as the sun rises, or late at night when they should be in bed. Often when I am finalizing my call sheets for a game broadcast, I often stare at that ball. That uniquely shaped ball sits on my desk as a reminder that I don't have a job, coaches don't have jobs, media don't have jobs, TV crews don't have jobs, ADs don't have jobs, commissioners don't have jobs, and university presidents don't make athletic decisions without the existence of that ball. Without the sport, we don't have the roles we earned. And that ball should always be the priority. Is it today? ? Debatable. Will it be moving forward? I think so. After all, I'm an optimist, and at the core of optimism is resilience. He goes on to talk about, this upcoming season, but it's the truth, man. Nobody's ever bigger than the game, and I know that the money controls all and will make these decisions, but I don't think there's one person out there that feels like this is the best thing for college football, except for the people that are making money. And it's sad.
Well, except for the people that don't care about college football.
Well, I'm not talking about them.
No. I get that, but it's easy for people, on the outside of college football to say, well, it's going to be better games and stuff. How can you argue with that? But it's, people that actually watch college football and don't just watch Alabama and Georgia. The college football is more than just national championships. College football is more than just the Big Ten and the SEC. College football is more than that. And I think Yogi kind of explained it there pretty well.
Yeah, fantastic stuff from Yogi, and heartfelt, and a guy that cares about the game. He's got a few books out there, Elite 11, does it all, and definitely will be reaching out to him. I'm sure that he's kind of sick and tired of discussing it. So maybe we'll wait until we get closer to actually being able to talk about exactly what
we're getting there. We're getting there.
Ball.
So close.
John Jansen, fun one today. No!
I didn't even get that. I put together a list and you didn't even ask. You do this all the time. Then then you're like, well, why don't you do top 5 lists anymore? It's like, well, I put them together and you never want to talk about them.
Number 5, top actresses, present day, John Jansen, go.
So her stock is going to go up after her next movie comes out, Poor Things. Emma Stone, number 5.
Emma Stone's, she's pretty damn big.
She is, but it's even going to go up more. Poor Things is going to be a big hit, I think.
Not Emma Watson, Emma Stone.
Emma
All
Stone.
Right, go ahead.
Number 4, Cate Blanchett. She's great, but after Tar, I think her stardom even rose more because Tar was a fantastic movie, one of my favorite movies from last year. Number 3, Jennifer Lawrence. Still, she's putting out great work.
Wow.
I thought her last movie was all right, and she was good in it. She's a movie star. She's a big movie star, incredible movie star.
Amen.
So number 3. Number 2, Emily Blunt. Emily Blunt is, I would have, before this year that my number 1 had, Emily Blunt probably would have been number 1. Emily Blunt is the cream of the crop. That's why she was in Oppenheimer. That's why she was Mary Poppins, which is incredible.
I knew it.
But number 1,
Quiet Place, Emily Blunt.
A Quiet Place was awesome. She was so good in that.
Very good.
And that's a movie where you don't talk. She was great. And she was great in A Quiet Place too. I thought that movie was all right. But number 1, it's Margot Robbie. After what she did with Barbie, what she did with Asteroid City, her rise up continuing from The Wolf of Wall Street until now, it's just becoming clearer and clearer that she is one of, if not the best on the planet right now. And I think at this moment, right now speaking, I think she's the best.
Nice work.
Thank you. I feel like those are pity claps from you.
Those are decent claps.
No.
I'm sure we got some better claps in there. But
you just wanted to get that segment over with. So there you go.
No, yeah.
You didn't even put any music behind that. You didn't even react to any of them. You just wanted me to spit out my top 5, and then you were just going to go.
Well, the reason why is because the music that we're about to play is We Out. However, folks, a little earlier today, Bill Colarulo, Legal Hands to the Face, he joined us, and we talked all things Philadelphia Eagles. And even mixed in some of the other topics that are happening around the NFL. Bill does it all over at Legal Hands to the Face. Fantastic listen, so don't go anywhere. He's coming up next. John Jansen will be off tomorrow. I'll be back. Brand new daily ticket. Shout out to Moss Money for coming on the show. And, of course, Bill Colarulo is coming up next as well. Thursday, though, we will be live on Main Street in Manayunk, back at our home away from home, which is right there on Main Street, My Philly House, My Philly, the Dot House online. Check them out. We'll be doing some trivia. We'll be having some fun. So stop on down. Say what up. Everybody, have yourself a wonderful Tuesday night. Go Phils. Get them. They're now tied up 3-3 with 2 runners on first and second in the bottom of the 4th. Trey Turner roped a double and then just got thrown out at home. Or
Love it.
Run down there. But things are looking good for the Fightins. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Stay dry. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace.
Who are not getting to a Super Bowl and certainly not winning it. And that's everybody else. From Baker Mayfield, Teddy Bridgewater, Dwayne Haskins.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Heads up, we've got a crash on 95 northbound traffic, barely moving from the Betsy Ross up to approaching Academy, where only the left lane is getting by. Southbound 95, heavy Woodhaven to Common, and then Allegheny to the Girard Point Bridge. Schuylkill eastbound Jan 202 to Belmont, Montgomery Drive to South, westbound heavy University to Girard, and City to Belmont. Stop and go traffic on 42 northbound 55 to 130. All right, to tell total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies.
The Dell Technologies Back to School event is on. With every eligible purchase, Dell will donate to UNICEF to help connect schools to the internet. Accidental damage protection included. Get deals on top tech powered by the latest Intel Core processors. Save now at Dell.com/deals.
Goodbye, Jeep Summer of Savings. Hello. Gary Barbera's countdown to kickoff. If you missed